There, we can pause that for the time being. Howdy, everybody. Welcome in. It is time to rate more video games. Hooray, let's swap on over. It's me, I'm the yapper one. Hooray. So, the music that's playing, or was playing in the background, rather, I hope this doesn't get dinged on YouTube. We'll see. I'm trying to branch out to other music to be playing during streams like this, where there's no just like, because I'm not playing a game, so there's no game audio, of course. That was the Hat in Time OST, the main theme was what was just playing. I'll hit play on it again momentarily to finish out the last like minute and a half that's left in the song. But yeah, for those wondering, I have done 13 different streams of this. I think one of the things got cut up into 2 parts actually, but I don't recall. Point being, though, if you want to see any of my opinions on any of these previous games, as I suppose I can do what I did last time, where I scroll through these, be sure to check out the corresponding videos. I always started at the bottom of this and worked my way up. Some of these games, I will have taught, like on the streams that they're part of, will mention, like if I talked about them in the past, due to the fact that sometimes certain games get bumped up on the list because I started earning trophies in them again. So, for example, maybe like Stream 4, right? Maybe I talked about a particular game that I had not finished yet. Like Super Meat Boy would be a great example. I've only earned 4 trophies in it, but I played like a pretty good chunk of it on Steam, and then I got it on PlayStation, played a bit of it, and I just never got around to doing more of it. So if I earned an additional trophy, it would get bumped all the way to the top, which means that like, yeah, maybe I would talk more about it, maybe I wouldn't. It depends on what trophies I was missing. But that's the sort of situation where maybe I would like bring it back up in like a new context. Whereas something with like Final Fantasy VII, I've pretty much done this. Maybe I would mention something about the hard mode if I ever earned more trophies in this. Otherwise, I wouldn't really mention it too much. But yeah, essentially that's how that goes. So I'm just scrolling through if there's any games in particular. You can see where I start on a game and where I end on a game, so you can kind of get an idea. But yeah, the whole playlist is up on YouTube, so I'm already 13 parts in. This is part 14. I suspect that this part will be the one that gets all the way to the top of the list yet again, like will be current. I've been current a couple times from doing these, but of course, the last 2 streams have been like me trying to catch up after about a year-long break of not having done these type of streams. Because obviously I was just earning trophies in the time, so it's just like, well, if you're caught up, there's no point in going over those trophies again. So yeah, we're just reaching about the point that we left off on last stream, which would have been Hollow Knight. So I gotta talk about Hollow Knight again, and I gotta talk about everything after GTA 4. GTA 4 is the penultimate example of like games I would talk about again. Because I've only earned a couple trophies, I'm not a big fan of the game. Earned a couple trophies, earned way like some other trophies way after the fact. The multiplayer, did all the multiplayer. And then way after the fact did one of the DLCs. But anyway, let's talk about the new stuff. And I'll throw on music. Let me throw back on the tunes. So this is a Hat in Time soundtrack. Should be every track from the game. I don't think we're gonna get through all of them. I'm hoping we at least get through, like get to the, where's Deathwish at? There's Deathwish. 99 tracks. I don't think we're gonna get to Deathwish. I mean, some of these tracks are a little bit quicker, to be fair. Like, there's a couple, like, here's an 11-minute track on track 5 or whatever, but most of these are anywhere between, like, 2 to 5 minutes, so yeah, I don't think we're getting that far, but we'll see. Anyway, to the actual stream we go. Hollow Knight is where we start. So Hollow Knight, I streamed the entirety of this. Like, the only bits I didn't stream of this game were tiny amounts of, like maybe grabbing some grubs or geo or something. Otherwise, I streamed like 99% of this game. It was crazy. In a race against from the stream Purge Mist and from the stream Rios. So that was fun. Ritos had challenged Purge to a Hollow Knight race to Platinum first. to be fair, Rios had already platinumed the game way back in the day, but it had been, well, I don't know about way back in the day, but he had platinumed the PS4 version in the past. But of course, hadn't played the PS5 version, and hadn't played the game in quite a while, whereas Virgin and I, that was our first attempt at the game. But yeah, I joined in on the thing, like I inserted myself in because I thought it'd be fun. Also, I'm a fan of platformers, so I feel like in a good amount of senses I had like an edge. But of course, also like I didn't have familiarity with the general like how the game goes, so that kind of slows me down a bit. But a lot of fun. Love this game. I ended up buying the collector's edition of this game from Fangamer. I do plan on doing Silksong eventually once they release a physical edition of it. I don't know if these are out yet or if they're going to be out soon. Gamefly gets them, but it's going to be like they get their stuff a little bit later because they have to wait for the ship and such. So I'll play Silksong when I get the physical copy of it. Although I wonder if I can get... I think you can only get the PS5 physical, I don't think you can get PS4, so that would suck in the sense that I wouldn't be able to play it twice in that same sort of way. I'm actually kind of surprised Hollow Knight has an EU stack, I didn't know that. Interesting. But yeah, this game is fantastic. Just, the combat's great, the art style's amazing, the story's cool. For sure, obviously, a lot of it's left to, like, you have to piece together the clues. Now, some of it's, like, obviously I already stated to you, but, like the generalities of, why Hollow Knight is the way it is right now. And these seals that are stopping this, like, infection from leaking out further, even though the whole place is essentially fucked anyway. So it's really cool. Anyway, sorry, I was messing with something real quick. That was cool, and obviously the DLC stuff's really cool, like the Grim Troop stuff's cool. Pantheon's great, even though it's kind of infuriating at times. I even threw, that's where the classic clip of this comes in, where this is me actually throwing. This is actually from the stream where you're just watching me throw, so you see me in the corner, I think it plays the clip with it.
Oh my god! He threw! He threw!
I threw the final final part of Absolute Radiance. But then I got it like a couple tries later, I think. But yeah, I threw the very last section of it too. Like I had it locked in and I completely threw it. It's not even the hard section, you know what I mean? Like, and I had health, so I could have done it, but I just whiffed it so bad. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, I paused the music just to do that real quick. This one's the title screen music, by the way. Woohoo! Anyway, good old had in time. Back to Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight, big fan. I would say, do I give it a 10? Do I give it a 10? Because like I can't even think of any like I can't even think of any really like minor problems I have with it. Like, there are some like mild annoyances, like maybe some of the making the charms unbreakable maybe takes a little bit too much geo, to be honest. But I also understand that like that type of thing was made for people that had already beaten the whole game and probably played a bunch like after the fact, and so like they're trying to factor that in for people, like essentially like, hey, what do I do with my 5 million geo I have stored? So there's probably some balancing to that in terms of trying to figure out the best bet for that sort of thing. Yeah, everything. I mean, the flower quest is a little annoying, but like, it's not too terrible. The jellyfishes are kind of annoying, so I feel like, yeah, That'd be like my only major complaint would be like the jellyfishes, I guess, just because like the amount of damage they do is like fucking like 2 damage. They put you in this tight area and it's like hard to get around them sometimes without tripping one. Oh, okay, never mind. I can think of like 2 complaints, right? One's not really so much a... One is like really niche. It's like if you fight Markov Ascended, the hardest version, like, or sorry, Radiant, the hardest version of them. Or no, Radiant's the one where it's 1 tap, right? I'm thinking of, no, I was thinking of Ascended the first time. The one where he has like double health, and he's floating, like obviously when he's floating around the platform, that's fine. But yeah, he doesn't have like his movement is like all over the fucking place. There's no pattern to it in the same way. Like he just floats around the screen. You're not sure if he's gonna float towards you, away from you, up, down. You know, like he just floats for a little bit, and so it's really hard to predict. Now, like some other enemies will like do some shit sometimes where they'll teleport. You know, you don't know for sure where they're gonna teleport. You don't like, but because their movement's far more restricted, it's like easier to manage. With Markov, it's just like he just does whatever the fuck he wants. Plus, you know, with the shield, it's like a pain in the ass. And so, yeah, so when he's doing like double damage, it's fucking brutal. It's so annoying. So in that sort of sense, he's annoying, and also I do think the one actually badly designed boss fight in the game is the Umu, I think his name is. The giant jellyfish, the one specifically for the Pantheon. Because like in the main game it's fine, because you just like wait for a bit and then like Roll comes in and like does a funny little stab and then you can attack it. But having to wait for like the RNG of the jellyfish coming up after it screams, it's not even like a hard thing to do, obviously, because especially when I found out that you can dream nail those jellyfish coming up so you can get your health back. Like you can sit there, even if you keep messing up over and over again, you can sit there and farm your health back on that boss pretty easily, but it's just frustrating because it's like you have to wait forever, and then when you hit the thing, you have to angle it in such a way that it actually hits a big jellyfish, and even if you're like jumping around like in a certain way to angle it, sometimes it just sort of misses. One time I had it where it didn't work because it was screaming at the exact time it got hit, so like it didn't actually take damage. Yeah, so that's like the only like bad boss fight I think in the game. Absolute Radiance does have some weird annoying RNG shit, but like, yeah, basically like, it's me debating whether or not to do a 9.5 or a 10, and I think I just gotta give it a 10, to be honest. Like a 10 out of 10 for the game. It's just fucking good. It's just a good game. Definitely a pretty big accomplishment to have 100% of the game. Now with the PS4 version, I did go in pretty quickly after and do like the PS4 version, as can be told by the fact that 11 days later I was done. I just went like pretty much immediately in for it. Well, I still had the muscle memory and such, and that's essentially what happened. Is I did everything else legit, and then I got to P5, and then like, at least the first time when I did it on stream, it was one of the situations where I'm like, oh, this is like exciting. I've never done this before. You know, see if I can do this challenge, see if, you know, like, oh, this will be exciting, plus I'm streaming it, so that'll be like a pretty hype moment. With the PS4 version, I was just playing by myself, and, like, I've already done it, so I know I can do it, and I'm trying to, like, move on to other things, and so it was a situation where I was just getting frustrated, like, trying to get to the point, especially because I was dying before fucking even Absolute Radiance a few times. I was like, yeah, I could sit here for like the next like 3 days and probably farm this out and get to the point, or like whatever. I could just cheese it with like a, you know, invincibility exploit for the second one. So that's what I did for the second stack, because at that point it's like I've already proven to myself that I can do this. I didn't use it. I did not use the invincibility exploit, obviously, for the PS5 version. Everyone can see my run for the PS5 version on YouTube, and I think I also have it, I believe I have it saved as a highlight on Twitch, specifically, like the, I want to say the whole run, but it might just be the boss fight at the end. Let's see, video producer, let's do highlights. Yeah, I have the Pantheon 5 win highlighted, which is 1 hour and 5 minutes. So anyone that would want to see like how I did that, and you can tell I get hit a bunch, so obviously I don't have the invincibility exploit on for that. But of course you can also watch the whole playthrough and see that. I don't think there's... I would be surprised if there was any boss. I flawlessed in the sense of like any late game boss. Don't think it happened at really any point. Well, there might be like a one like there's obviously, I'm sure, like the Vengeful Fly or the Vengefly King, whatever the fuck it's called, and a couple others like that. But like if we're talking like real near the end type bosses, like fuck no. Anyway, time to continue on. So unfortunately, we're going from like a good game to a whatever game. Paw Patrol Rescue Wheels Championship, a ship of champions. Of course, I can pronounce words apparently. This is just like whatever. Like I rented it. It's a quick platinum.
Hello. Thank you for buying our soundtrack. If
What
you
the
own
fuck?
Hat in Time, check out the Hat in Time game folder. It has neat stuff that might fill a hole in your heart. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, mystery track. Okay, that was the 11-second track I was talking about earlier. So I think in this case, for this OST that's playing in the background here, I think I'm gonna skip all the remixes, except for one if it happens to come up. There's like one remix in particular I think sounds really, really good, so I'm gonna have, like, I mean, I like the other remixes too, but there's like one very specifically that, well, we'll play like the ones that would show up during like the mission, like the extra missions of them, but I don't want to do like... Because the very next one to this, because this song's called Welcome to Mafia Town, and the very next one after this is Welcome to the Mafia Town remix. And I think it's just like a remix made for the OST rather than the game itself. But we'll see. Love it when people yell in the house, super cool. Definitely love having to mark timestamps for myself just to make sure. Very neat. Anyway, Paw Patrol, it's pretty whatever. I mean, it's cool that it has like an auto drive feature, so I was able to just sit there and just fuck around with Chad the whole time. The reason it says 10 hours is not because it's actually 10 hours. I mean, you could realistically beat the game in 3 to 4, which is mainly what I was doing. It's just that, like, I literally wasn't even trying. Like, I just had the gameplay itself for 95% of it. While I sat there and messed around on my phone. Yeah, whatever. It's a whatever race, like kart racer that's overpriced and licensed, so that's why it's overpriced, I assume. Like 2 out of 10. Well, maybe like 2.5 out of 10, I guess. Whatever. Bloodstone. See, the Bloodstone's an example of a game I talked about before. And I gotta be honest, I don't remember what I said before, but I assume it's something along the lines of it wasn't really memorable. And I think that's still true. I'm doing the game on the hardest difficulty and doing some of these... Like, now I have the plot more in the back of my mind. Like, I guess it's cool that it's an original story, you know, before First Light had its own original story, of course. But yeah, otherwise it's just like, who gives a shit? The only thing that's actually worth me even mentioning about this is very specifically, there is no claims bonus. Drive to the bridge in the epilogue. Oh wait, no, not that one. That one was okay. Where's the actual... Is it another driving one I'm thinking of? Where's the driving one? Oh, this one. That's the reason it has a 2.93 earn rate. Actually, Istanbul driving chase in under 2 minutes, 59 seconds. That one fucking sucked. Like, that one was awful. Such a fucking bad game. Or bad, because, like, the controls of the car are not great. You had to be essentially, like, flooring it almost the entire time. It's very specific about it, and sometimes you just crash into, like, cars can crash into a certain way, where you just, like, lose it. And if you fail, you have to go all the way back to the restart, because if you hit a checkpoint, like, it doesn't... You don't want to hit a checkpoint, in the sense that, like, you don't want to restart from a checkpoint, because the run is lost at that point. So this would have been a lot easier if there was just a much easier like retry from the beginning every time, which would be the case if you messed up like right near the beginning. That wouldn't be too bad, but like, yeah, that was just annoying as hell. Obviously, I can't platinum this because the online is turned off, unless I use one of the private servers. In which case, I've tried to do the private servers for GoldenEye, but I'm not allowed to do the DNS, I guess, because my ISP blocks it. And I tried through VPNs and it just never seemed to work. So. There was one section where I was finally able to connect to stuff, like the actual online of the servers themselves, but it made my NAT type. I think my NAT type was closed. I forget if that's NAT type 3 or 1. I think it's 3. So essentially, like, you would have to have the other NAT type 1, for me to ever be able to really join. Whereas most people have it as 2 for moderate, but yeah, annoying as hell. So yeah, my score of that really wouldn't have changed from whatever it was before, I'm sure. But let's go back to Ratshaker. The reason I skipped that is because we'd already talked about Bloodstone, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. Ratshaker, pretty cool. Was a big fan of it. Obviously short, but pretty sweet. Definitely, like, it's just really fucking amusing, and I think it's worth it for the price. And I like I was not expecting the type of game it is, like the genre, as the theme says here, horror. I was not expecting horror aspects of it. I was not made aware of the thing, so you can see my playthrough of that. That was a game gifted to me by like the publisher through Press Engine, so that was cool. And in that case, what would I give it? I don't know, like, I think for what the thing is, like, I would rate it an 8, and I know that in some cases, like, you can go back and be like, well, you rated this game a 7.5, and you know, it's a much longer game, there's much more to it, but, like, I try to do it based on, like, how much fun am I having, which also includes trophy hunting aspects, too, but, like, it's much more weighted towards the fun of the game itself, and then also it's weighted towards, like, the price. So, like, a game that's cheap, that's fucking amazing, is gonna get a higher score than a game that might have more content. Even if it has a little bit more content that I enjoy, it costs way more. So, like, for example, Hollow Knight being a 10, especially when it's like a $20 game, is gonna do more, even though I've had, like, GTA 5, yeah, which is like a $60 game, when it dropped, of course. I've had way more gameplay of it, but it also has way more problems, though, too, to be fair. Even though, like, yeah, you would just, there's so much more to do in GTA 5. But, I mean, come on, Hollow Knight's fucking great. So that's how I try to rate some of these things. But yeah, that's, Ratshaker I'd say is like 8. Or sorry, yeah, 8, that was right. I almost talked myself out of it. Dora the Explorer, another, like, licensed platformer game from Outright Games. This one was fucking lazy, honestly, in terms of, like, some of the stuff. I mentioned it during the playthrough, although some of the playthrough got cut out due to, I guess my audio cut out for like an hour, so I cut out an hour of that playthrough. But, yeah, that was, like, there was just some, like, even from their standards, some of the animations and such were just really... Oh, I let that song play, but I said I wasn't gonna let it play, and then I forgot to swap. That was the song that I just finished playing, actually. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, like, even by, like, I know these aren't, like I said, like, they're licensed, and they're often overpriced, and it's just kind of, like, quick, get it out there for usually, like, a TV show or a movie. But, like, even by their standards, it was, like, come on, like, a boulder would, for example, fall down, as it's, like, rolling down, like, a hill or something, it would, like, drop in place and then continue rolling on the ground. Like, they didn't have the animation going to where it would continue rolling, like, off the ledge more. Like, it had to hit the exact tile and then fall down the ground. Like, there was something with, like, glasses where they didn't, like, sunglasses on a cloud where they didn't even, like, what was it? They didn't even put, like, the ear parts out, I think, or something, or I don't know. I remember at the time there was something with the cloud and, like, glasses or something. There's a couple other things too that were just like, man, this is like just lazy ass design, which is unfortunate. Because I know usually what it is, it's just like they're strapped for time, right? Like I'm not really. It's not a slight on the people who make the games as much. It's just more like, because I'm sure like it's like shareholder, we have to get this out this quarter because it's cross promotion shit, so you just got to do it and get it out. But that doesn't mean it doesn't excuse it being a bad product. It's just like who I'm aiming that direction at. Is so like this is like to me like a 1.5, honestly. Like it's not an AI slot game at least, but like. Also, I got some good clips out of that playthrough. And there was some stuff with like it was just slightly less linear than most games are, so did I give it a 2? Yeah, let's just give it a 2. Screw it. Because that aspect alone, because a lot of them are a lot more linear, which this game was also linear, but there was like a little bit more to it. I don't like what some of the games do though. This game does this. Another game that comes to mind that does this is what's another game that does? I mean, I guess Up does it, but Up isn't made by Outright Games. Like it's like a Disney game instead. The idea of like you gotta come back when you have a certain power, just to pick up like one certain collectible. I mean, and there are plenty of games that do that. Even Hollow Knight does that. But I feel like Hollow Knight you get to actually explore like a bunch of a new area. I guess a more apt explanation would be something like Kingdom Hearts, where like a lot of times like, okay, now you only get access to a singular chest, and it's pretty whatever as a chest item. Like, oh, now you have the glide ability, so you can get this one thing. And I mean, not all the chests were bad, but it's that sort of, at least some of them were useful, I would say. Plus, the game stands on its own for many other reasons. Whereas, like, something like this, like, you literally would only go back for, like, one item. And just, to me, like, the way in which it's incorporated here in some other games, like, sorry, the way it's incorporated in Dora and some other games, too, it feels more like just padding rather than encouragement in going back through the worlds. Like, I guess a good example, the PS2 game Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights also does this sort of thing. I don't know if that's exactly what you call like Metroidvania, where it's like you come back with their powers. I would imagine that's probably what that shit is. But yeah, you get like whole map sections explored, or like able to be like further explored with these new power-ups. So like that's, I think, the correct way to do that. Not just like, here's a couple items and that's it. Anyway, continuing on. Stick Fight. Stick Fight was a lot of fun, actually. I had a lot of fun with this. I played this with a friend of the stream, Johnny Mortem. Essentially what happened with Stick Fight is that Peak had a sale, like Landfall, I think, had some sort of like game industry sale or something. So they were like selling a bunch of their games in a bundle. What was it for? It's some sort of charity thing, and I forget what it was exactly, but it was like some sort of charity thing. And it put a bunch of the games together, and one of the games I ended up getting from that was Stick Fight, although I already had Stick Fight for like another reason. Because a friend of the stream, Ryudos, has like he used to do giveaways a bunch. Until he finally ran out of Steam keys to do giveaways. But, so I had Stick Fight already. But yeah, that's what made me try Stick Fight, and I realized, oh, this is like that game. So I gave it to a friend of the stream, Johnny Mortem. We both played the game together. And it was just a lot of fun. It's just like chaotic fun. You never knew like the gimmick of the level until it already happened. So like you're just, you land somewhere. And then all of a sudden like a buzzsaw comes down from the ceiling that you didn't expect, and then you're dead. Or like, you don't know that shooting out the ice on the ground, like, as you're shooting people and the ice breaks and it falls out from underneath you. Or like the gravity changes or something. It's just, it's wacky, for sure. So that was cool. In terms of, what would I say? Sorry, my brain died there. Still dead, actually. I'm trying to think of what I was gonna say. The, I don't know if anyone can hear my dog in the background. That's something different happening. Conversations between people in the house and the dog. As if the dog's gonna respond like, "Hey, I understand you now. I understand exactly what you're saying." It's like, no, that's not how that works. I've been marking timestamps, hoping that I can fix those later if they end up going on stream. Usually they don't, but sometimes they do. Yeah, essentially, like, a really cool game. Some of these were a little bit more annoying than I felt like they needed to be. Like, it's actually funny, pick up the energy sword, which is obviously just a lightsaber. I actually earned this on, the, you know, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. So, on Steam, specifically. So obviously that was not the case on PlayStation, but it's because I didn't realize it was actually on PlayStation until I just happened to be scrolling through at one point to see like what games I had access to for PlayStation Extra. I was like, oh yeah, shit, nice. So I played this with some friends. Some of these were a little bit more annoying, but the way you can customize the levels and the drops made it like pretty easy to get. Like once I knew that, it was very easy to organize this with a couple other people. You could even connect, like I could even connect myself with a like local co-op person, go online with that local co-op person, just the two of us, and account for online games. Which matters because apparently like the total kills thing did not count unless you did all online. I think a couple other things didn't count either, like playing all the matches or something. I forget the exact amount. Some of these definitely didn't like get, you know, playing kills in a row without dying sort of shit. So there were like some minor annoyances, but like for what it is, it's fucking great. And to be honest, I don't know the price of the game, like normally, because I had it through extras, so it was free. It's like, I don't know, to me that was like a solid like 7, like it's fun. It loses a bit of its luster once you like know what to expect, but there's still like that fun thing of like, because the controls are, there's like a little bit of waviness in how the characters control, I guess. I don't know if that's the right wording for it specifically, but like just enough that you like you can do some crazy shit. Like when you're trying to stab somebody or when you're trying to shoot someone, like the limbs are kind of like flailing about. Like you're you know, Kermit the Frog or something, or like some other Muppet character, like flailing their arms. It's like there's a lot of fun to be had there. Saw 2. I don't know what I said initially about Saw 2. Probably something along the lines of like, I'll never play this game. Because I rented this back in 2012, played a little bit, started playing Fallout instead, and then this got sent back through Gameplay. So I paid $100 to get this back. And then I sold it for like $100. I sold it for a little bit more to be fair, but like when it came out, I essentially broke even once like fees and such were taken out. But yeah, I bought this just to platinum this. Because I was like, dude, I need to like play this soon. Because otherwise, pain in the ass. It was cool because there was one specific trophy, I think it's near the end here. Yeah, survive like this very last one. Which path you take, you can actually just play one single path and then reload the save. Through like, not reload the save, but like you can, it's a choice you make at the very beginning of the game and it affects the very end of the game essentially. And even if you made one choice, you don't have to replay the whole game to make the second choice, because if you go through like essentially like it's almost like Life is Strange's photo mode, kind of, where like you can play this thing and it doesn't actually affect your progress in the game, but you know, it's just a way to grab collectibles. It's almost kind of like that, where you're replaying a chapter, but like they have like a default setting for what you chose, and the default setting is the other path. So as long as you choose the path opposite of that to actually play like the full game, you don't have to do an entire second playthrough. So that's one thing I don't. So like, okay, the game itself, like there's a couple like kind of vaguely neat moments, but it really makes me want to kind of watch the actual films because I've never seen them. And of course, it's not worth the price in terms of like, especially now. But like, was it worth $60 back then? Probably not either, because it's just whatever. But there were some vaguely neat moments, like the very beginning one with the eyeball thing, where you had to cut a key out of like the skin flap under your eye, essentially, like just at the very upper end of your cheek. Like that shit was cool. Otherwise, it was pretty whatever. Oh, hey, how you doing, Tim? I was just talking about you a moment ago because of Hollow Knight and then Stick Fight. You know, this song right here is actually... This is the song where I met Peach Cola. She came from outer space. I should send this clip later to Peach at some point. But, because friend of the stream Peach Cola was playing A Hat in Time. Or I had finished doing Death Wish of Hat in Time, and then I wanted to just watch someone else suffer doing the same thing I had just done after, like, probably like a week of playing it or something. And then Peach Cola exists, friend of the stream, happened to be playing this. Didn't even have a face cam back then. Happened to be playing this exact level. That's cool. GG. Yeah, the Hat in Time OST playing in the background, so sometimes I comment on that. Yeah, essentially Saw 2 sucked, and one of the reasons I really was pain in the ass was that, here's a guide here, right? The PSNP guide, bad form to do this. Where is it? This should not be listed on this, because this does not include all collectibles. So below you'll find a walkthrough of the entire game. Use it as a reference guide if you ever get lost or stumped on how to go through an area. This is not the collectible guide. So I was following this, because like at a point like I just didn't like care about like, I mean it's a Saw 2 game, like who gives a shit. I was just finishing the trophies, the trophy list I had already started. But like I would do the puzzles on my own, except for there's like 2 puzzles I had to look up. But, like in terms of like collectibles, I would stop and be like, oh hey, here's collectibles. Yeah, it's not even a collectible guide. Like he grabs most of the collectibles, so it makes you think it's a collectible guide. But it's not. But to be fair to the YouTuber, it's not the problem with the YouTuber, because the YouTuber doesn't list it as collectible guide. But it's put in the fucking PSNP guide, and it's like, why would you do this? Some of the stuff about playing on normal versus insane was a little weird for the puzzles, but otherwise it wasn't too bad. This puzzle was a little obnoxious sometimes. Like, I actually don't mind the aspect of it, but it's obnoxious like having to spin it sometimes in certain ways, because like if 2 of the same color touch, it like moves them back, but sometimes it means you gotta move like 10 other ones like to get back in place, so it's... I did also look up the remaining Billy puppets, because some of them were just like rough. But yeah, see, like these are collectibles. But one of the annoying ones was when I was missing the puzzle pieces, because like in most of the game you can find out which ones you're missing. The puppets you can't, but there's some little of them that it's pretty easy to track for the most part. Case files have like numbers on them, so the audio tapes. Except for the fact that there's like either one single case file, I think it's this one right here. This one case file is not case file number 1, even though it's the first case file you find. It's like case file 42 or some shit. Whereas every single other case file in the game follows like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like that made it a bitch to track. It's such a weird design choice. If you make that design choice in your game, I think someone should use your toothbrush to like clean a toilet or something. It's like, I can't say anything. I don't want to say anything violently hyperbolic because it's not actually true. I'm just making a joke. But I think that's stupid to do that. That's annoying as fuck. In the puzzle pieces, there's no way to know the number of them, for the most part, but they are in mostly order. From like, so like there'll be like a set of like, I think it's 25 total, right? Or 25 pieces. So like they go in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And so like it keeps going like that till you hit 25. And then the one specific one, like 19 or whatever it was, there was like one during a chase sequence I needed to get. It actually comes, it's like in a slightly different order also, so it's like, fuck you. So anyway, those are just mild gripes of the game. The game's pretty forgettable though, like honestly I'd probably give it like a 4.5, 5, maybe, you know, we'll say 5. Like it's pretty like forgettable, middle of the road. I'm not gonna hold a price against it because like I'm trying to hit like a licensed game that got delisted, you know, way later, scalped essentially to an extent. So I fully understand like that should not be held against the game because that was not how the game dropped. and that has nothing to do with the developers, of course. Where were we at? Schizophrenia. Schizophrenia. Oh yeah, this was the free game. This was free on PlayStation. So this is. I didn't give a shit about this game, honestly. This is like a fucking, I don't know, like a 2.5 maybe. Like it's so forgettable, and unlike like Saw 2 is kind of forgettable in some aspects, but like I remember parts of the game for sure. Like Schizophrenia is much shorter, obviously, because this one only took an hour to do. But like, it's cool that it's free, I guess, at least. But yeah, this just looked like some random slop I could find anywhere, I guess. Barbie Horse Trick. I was so annoyed that I didn't find out in this game that there was a fast travel system until like halfway through the second stack. And you can tell the difference of like how long it took me. It took me 5 hours to platinum the first time, whereas it took me an hour and a half the next time. That's the difference of fast travel. Also, I was skipping more of the dialogue, to be fair. Like, I didn't skip most of the dialogue for the first like hour and a half, I think, of the first playthrough. Or second playthrough, we were just skipping fully, obviously. Shame Tim's not here because he enjoys ribbing me for a joke in the game where, because there's some graphical glitches, and so at one point I thought a character like had an arm that was glitched out, but it was just like an amputee character they put in there. And so I was like in the middle of just about to be making fun of the character, and then I realized. But Tim always got a kick out of that clip. But yeah, I mean, same thing. Overpriced, licensed, quick out. I mean, at least this one's like a different type of game. It's, you know, like a horse game where you solving like quest shit, like quest fetch. Yeah, fetch. I was right the first time. Sorry, my brain's like thinking I'm saying one thing, but not. But yeah, this, I don't know, like a 3. Like at least it's better than some of the other that they put. Which isn't a high bar, but it's a bar, I guess. The thing is, these would be rated higher if they just weren't as overpriced as they are. Like, honestly, most of them would be kind of more up to, like, the 4 to 5 out of 10 range. If the price was, like, actually reasonable, but it does actually affect it quite a bit. Cabin Factory. This game was pretty cool. This is, you know, one of those, like, liminal spaces, spot the difference type games, but I think this is my favorite one so far. I did not like Exit 8, but I actually really enjoyed Cabin Factory. There were some like funny bits of it too, to be honest, that I thought was really good. Sorry, what's the order you're doing? Oh, you mean like what order am I doing this in? I base this on PSN profile. Anytime I do these, I base it on PSN profiles, and I start from the bottom. And so I just like have been slowly going up. So I have done in third, you know, counting this stream. This is stream 14 of me doing this. Essentially, I have a YouTube playlist of me going over all these. So I've gone through the vast majority of these games one by one. Sometimes games get put up the list. I was mentioning this earlier in the stream. That's what is it? The good example of GTA 4 that I've talked about before, that I just don't like the game, and then I did the online in 2024, so eventually when I got around to like going further up the list and caught up, I eventually talked about how the multiplayer, like my thoughts on that. And then very recently, like the very last stream, I talked about me doing the Lost and Damned DLC, because I bought the DLC disc, you know, the one that had the episodes of Liberty City on it. So, like, in cases like those, sometimes I get bumped up a bit. Bloodstone was a case just before you came in that I was talking about a little bit, how I finally went back and did the hardest difficulty playthrough, because I only played it through one time, and honestly it's a pretty forgettable game, so I didn't really have a desire to trophy on it, but I did that semi-recently, of course. But yeah, we're pretty close to the top here. So I think we're going to keep going until we hit, like... Unfortunately, I'm not at Platinum 500. I'm thinking Big Block's going to be it. But we'll talk about that when we get to the top, essentially, but we're pretty close to there. Yeah, Cabin Factory, like, for what it is, honestly, I'd say it's a solid, like, 8.5. It was pretty good. There's, like, 1 or 2 I didn't understand the changes. I probably just would have to watch a video to find out what the changes are. They seem pretty much. But I don't mind like having a couple of changes like that. What I hated about Exit 8 was that like so many changes felt like that, where it's just like you couldn't even tell. And I think the Cabin Factory has a lot of like much more unique changes, whereas like I don't know, a lot of Exit 8s didn't feel that unique. Summer House. Summer House is just not a game for me. Also, I think that the crafting of the houses and such, like it's weird because like they're 3D pieces, but it's mostly 2D space. Like the way it looks. So like you don't really get to build the stuff the way you want to. And it would be fine if this was like a $1 game, but this just is, I don't know, it was like 10 bucks or something. How much is Summer House? Let me look it up real quick. I'm hoping it doesn't show me logged in so I can actually see the price. Damn it. This was one of those games I got through Press Engine, and yeah, this is like the only Press Engine game I feel like I've negatively reviewed. Oh, it's $5. Okay, so it's $5 normally. Right now it's actually on sale, surprisingly. It's $3.49 with PlayStation Plus, and if you don't have PlayStation Plus, it's just $3.99. That's better, but it's still for the game doesn't have a platinum, which I mean that's not like if it's a great game and it doesn't have a platinum, like I don't give a fuck. I'll play platinum-less games. But also the trophy list is pretty whatever. This song is great. Okay, apparently people decide to get loud again. Hooray. But yeah, I feel like unlocking the stuff was like the idea of it's cool. You essentially have to do combinations of things, but you have no idea what they actually are. And it unlocks certain items, and like that's kind of a neat idea, but like it's so there's no way to really know without looking it up. You know what I mean? Or just like trying every single combination, but it's weird to try combinations because like it feels like, especially with this picture, that it feels like you would craft a thing that you think looks like cozy and cool or whatever, right? You're not really experimenting with a bunch of random shit. Like some of them go together, of course, but like if you don't get the exact, it would be like, oh, you have to do this exact set of stairs with this exact door frame, right? And if you don't do the exact one, even though, especially if you don't think it's like, oh, that didn't really look good together or whatever, right? Like you're never gonna try it, so you're never gonna unlock it. Also, the trophy to place 10,000 items is just fucking ridiculous. Like, there's no reason. You could play through the game normally, like 100 blocks, fair. 1,000 blocks, sure, I guess. But literally, I had to spend. Okay, what did I get? Here's an example, right? Place 1,000 blocks was at 850. It took me 40 minutes of just placing blocks down. Of just doing nothing but spamming items over and over and over again. That's just not happening naturally. And I feel like that sort of achievement's just put in there just to fuck with you. I wonder if they, you know what? This was on Steam as well. I wonder if they put achievements in there like that to stop people from like refunding the game within the 2 hours thing. Which by the way, I think that's bullshit. If you play through a game, you should not like in its entirety. You should not be refunding it. Like the idea that you could refund games you 100% the achievements on, if it's not like some like five minute like slop sort of thing that was clearly made just to like siphon money out of people. Like someone actually made this, the art style, like someone had a vision here. Even though I don't like the game, even though I think it's too spendy, even though I don't like that one particular trophy. Like this is a game. Like to me, I would love to play a game with this art style, but not this type of game. Like not this type of gameplay. Like someone actually had a vision here, and like it would be bullshit to anyone to refund a game like this. Even if it's like 2 hours played or whatever, right? Like that's shitty. Or sorry, even if it's less than 2 hours played, like it doesn't matter. Like you should have known that going in. I don't know if they've changed that policy since. I have to imagine they haven't, because I haven't heard anything about it. But maybe they have. I don't know. But yeah, Summer House. I don't know. It's like forgettable. 3 out of 10 for me. The art style is like a solid like 8 out of 10 though. If I were to rate that just separately by itself. Plastid Placid Plastic Duck Simulator. There was some DLC on sale, so I finally bought the last two. The score of this has not changed since the last time I rated it, so like I'm not even gonna go over it again because it's the same score. You literally just sit there and do nothing. Like there's some mildly amusing aspects, and it's cool. It's like funnier when you name the characters after people you know. Otherwise, whatever. Damn, this song's vibing. I forgot they had so many different versions of the Mafia Town stuff. Like, we're just barely gonna get past the Mafia Town music I've had in time by the time the stream's done. We're gonna get like maybe a third of the way through the Bird Studio thing. Skyrim. The thing that's new is I found out there was a on-disc DLC version of the Legendary Edition for PS3. I didn't know they made that for PS3. I knew they had like a special edition for PS4, which I do own. Still haven't played it. Someday. Question mark. But I found out they had an on-disc DLC because I wasn't going to pay the full price because that's insane. But so I ended up doing some of the DLC. I did the Hearthfire one. I was glad that I didn't accidentally kill the guy that you need for the third plot of land. I was worried about that. Because I was using my like 200-hour playthrough. It loads like shit, by the way, on PS3. 200 hours plus like a PS3. Like it just, you know, it chugs along. Solstheim, I had to worry about like a certain character dying for like crafting an item out of this. Otherwise, it was mostly fine. Very enjoyable. It's been a long time since, like, I had never played Dragonborn. It was really cool. There's some stuff here with like vampire versus werewolf that I gotta figure out. To eventually do Dawnguard. I'll do it. I was expecting to do this after Platinum 500 because that's also total trophy 20,000. Because I don't know how long this will take, and like I don't want to mess up my count with like my trophy count because I need to get like a very specific sorts of numbers here. I have 40 trophies to work with before I hit 20,000, and 4 of those trophies have to be dedicated to Black Ops 1 twice. It's missing 2 trophies each, which I plan for that. And then I need another platinum, which obviously requires at least one other trophy every time. So like at least 6 trophies are dedicated for sure to something else, which gives me a 34 trophy like wiggle room to do other things. And it depends on what game I'm platinuming. Most likely Big Walk. Max could still be on the table, but I doubt it. Like, I mean, I will eventually platinum it, but like whether or not it's like specifically platinum 498 is a question to be had. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. I don't know if I really... Like, I don't know. I guess I could rate the DLC for Skyrim. I guess I didn't really... Did I rate the DLC for GTA 4 yesterday? If I would, the DLC would probably be like a 6 out of 10. Like, it was mildly enjoyable, whereas like GTA 4 is like lower than that for me as a whole. And the online is definitely lower than that. Like, even lower than the main game, I think. Yeah, the Skyrim DLC is probably like a solid, like... It's like, it's hard to count, like, it's not fair for me to really count the fact that the game loaded like shit. Like, what would I give the game, not counting the fact that it's on PS3 and, like, my save file's dead? Hearthfire is like whatever. I don't really care about building. Like, it's nice to have the houses, but I find that they're so weirdly off in like some areas, and I don't like the fact that the houses are specifically usually by like enemy encampments, which makes, I guess, that it's like, oh, that's why they're actually available to be bought. Like, this plot of lands, but like one of them is like why would I ever raise my kid, like the kid you can adopt in this game here, when it's like right next to like a giant, you know, like, what do you call it? Like an encampment where giants are? Like, if my kid just happened to wander off like 2 feet, she's gonna get clubbed to death by a giant. Like, what are you talking about? How the fuck? That's not a good place to raise a child. So, like, 2 of them I felt like were in like really bad spots. There was only one that I felt like was even vaguely in an okay spot. I also didn't really, like... even then though, I think I had left the kid at Whiterun with servant Lydia. Who was it? Lydia's the servant, the house servant there. And then I'm married to the huntress lady, I think, from the companions. I forget her name. It's been like a hot minute. But shout out to lesbian romance. But yeah, I had him raise the kid there because at least there's like other kids there, and the place is like mostly safe. Whereas like I felt like it was, you know, like kind of fucked otherwise. Also, the kid I chose for adopting was like, there's one in, what the fuck is the city called? He was like a kid that like literally sleeps out in the cold. Like the place snows really hard, and she like lives outside. I think it's the place where, is it Riften? It's like wherever the Thieves Guild is, and I'm just like, this is like because their fucking parents died and shit. And it's just like, this is like this is just like a Sarah McLaughlin video, except for instead of it being a sad dog, it's like a sad kid. I'm like, I need to get this kid out of here. Why are those trophies not done? What trophies? Oh, for Dawnguard? Yeah, I just haven't played it yet because they take a while. I need this would probably take me like 2 weeks to do, I would imagine, because obviously I'm going to sit there, I'm going to read all the stuff, I'm going to talk to all the NPCs, and because it's PS3, it just takes forever. So it's a sort of situation where like I don't really want to dedicate time to it right now until like I know for sure that we're past this 20,000 trophy sort of thing. Like I said, I only have 34 trophies to work with, like extra. Like if I earn, because that's the thing, right? Like I don't know for sure. Well, okay, we'll say we have 36 trophies to work for, and one of them has to be a platinum out of that 36. So like I don't have a whole lot of wiggle room here. It's most likely gonna be Big Walk. If for some reason somehow it wasn't Big Walk Saturday, it's gonna be Sam & Max Beyond Space and Time. But like it's not a great sort of, like I want to make sure I for sure lock in the Platinum 498 before I worry about getting extra trophies. And then once I get those extra trophies, I can just hold off on earning any other trophies until I do the Platinum, the big stream where I had Platinum 500. So that's what we're waiting on for that. Anyway. Oh, yeah, I didn't rate the other DLC. I feel like the main game was probably like, what, like an 8? I don't know what I rated it back in the day, but like when I initially did these for whenever I rated this, but I don't know, probably like an 8, 7.5, something like that. It's really fucking cool, but it's like buggy as shit. Whereas I feel like the bugginess of some of this stuff is more so the fact that the save file is so large. Whereas like this was janky even from like the beginning. So I don't know, like I feel like the DLC, like it does what it needs to do. It's a much more expansive area. There's a bunch of cool new enemies and lore and such. It's pretty neat. I feel like it's an 8 out of 10. Anyway, back to wherever this is. This is Dream Girl Host Girls on Stage. Essentially, this is like a... I don't even know. Is it a rhythm game? I think it might be a rhythm game. But essentially, what you have to do for the trophies is you have to play a song as each of these characters. Like, and you just watch... You essentially watch them play the same song over and over again. And you swap out which character's in the front. Because all of them are on stage at the same time. And so there's 15 trophies, but this one I think is just doing all of them, so there's 14 trophies. And this just happened, like, I found out, I saw a list of, like, games that were free in, like, other regions, and this game was one of them, so I just, like, grabbed this, and this was a quick, 43 minutes. I essentially just, like, did stuff on my phone and or YouTube or whatever while I had this playing in the background and just earned trophies. So I don't know, I wouldn't rate it. It's whatever, it exists, I guess. War Theater, I've already rated this, but I found out it had a PS5 stack, so I just did the same thing I did for the PS4 stack. So that's fine. Dishonored, time to rate Dishonored, oh boy. We've already rated Dishonored, of course, but the one thing we didn't rate about Dishonored One, I'm like more used to like some of these now, where I understand the like it's been a hot minute since I played through the DLCs again, so that was cool. Yeah, the low chaos thing with 10,000 coins is kind of a bitch if you just do this from this save file. If you save some money from this one, then it works not too bad, but like it's a pain in the ass because you only have 10,000 to work with, maybe like 10,000 like 700 or something. Like it's a very, very small amount. That only works if you reset it from the beginning because you get like 3k for free. If you don't and you carry it over, there's only like 7,700 or something, so it's literally impossible. If you don't have that extra, 2,300 on hand when you start. So that's a pain in the ass. But the main one we're going to talk about, because we've already talked about those other ones before, I'm sure, to an extent. The main one worth talking about, of course, is the fucking Dunwall City Trials, man. Holy shit. What a situation that is. Essentially, the thing is, so some of these were easy, like find all collectible figurines. All you gotta do is like look up a guide for that. It's fine. Drop assassination from 150 meters. That one's not too hard, but sometimes I feel like the drop assassination, like where you have to be in the play space to do it, is a little janky at times. It's one of the few issues I have with Dishonored. It's mostly not a problem like in the main game, but I feel like when you add, because you can like take your time and like plan it out, right? Whereas like in these, it's all about speed, and so trying to do these things quickly, I feel like reveals the slight inaccuracies of it a lot more. That's been an issue. You finish Chain, Kill, or Bend Time Massacre without failing any wave. There's one wave I think is kind of annoying. In particular, it's like the propaganda one. You have to kill everyone. I think it's stage. What is it? It's stage 2 or stage 3? I think it's stage 3. Where essentially you kill everyone with. Maybe it is stage 2. But you kill everyone with a speaker, essentially, in like this short room with a bunch of aristocrats and a couple guards walking around. And sometimes, even though you clearly killed everyone with the speaker, it doesn't count. Or sometimes even if the person survives. Survives the fucking... What do you call it? Like, one person will just randomly survive the speaker even though they're clearly within range of it. So I'm not really sure what that's about. So sometimes you'll fail away because of that. I never did the chain kill one because that one's apparently harder. More pain in the ass, so I wasn't really worried about that one. Plus you can get 3-starred pretty easily without it. You finish Mystery Foe without using any supernatural powers. That one's cool. It's not too hard either, to be honest. But it adds more like that stealth feel. Damn it. But yeah, it adds more like that stealth kind of vibe to it, which is very nice. What does... Hey, how you doing, Purge? Does something catch on the mic? I keep having to mute because the shit keeps catching on the mic. But yeah, welcome in, Purge. It's not available yet, but I will say we finally did, since I believe you are the closest person to getting it. Since you have the 8-month badge, I did finally upload the 9-month badge and the year badge. Obviously, like, if you never do that, that's fine, you don't have to pay money here, but since you're the closest person to getting it, you and maybe Rafiki? Just throwing it in there, because we have... So the next set after that, because the first 4 are obviously like bronze, silver, gold, platinum. And the next set after that are Jak and Daxter eco colors, which are 6, so you got the blue eco, green eco, yellow eco, red eco, light eco, dark eco. So Johnny, the friend of the stream, Johnny Mortem, who's been doing the artwork of them, yeah, he's selling 4 of the 6. So I just need to see what Dark Eco and Light Eco look like at some point when he does them. But we have Green Eco as the 9-month one, then we have Red Eco as the year one, because I wanted those to be, like, the Platinum Egg looks kind of similar, like, it is a different blue color, but, like, I feel like blue and blue were too close to each other, so I wanted those to be spread apart a bit more. Likewise, yellow and gold, I didn't want those too close. Light Eco and silver, same sort of deal. So my idea is to have green, red, and then Darky go first, and then I'll figure out whatever order I want for like the last three. Anyway, that's just a quick channel update. Yeah, this is my favorite version of the Mafia song, so I knew this one for sure was going to play, the scooting through Mafia Town, like when you're doing the scooter one. Fucking banger song. God, I love this game. Just popping in for a quick high, shopping for a present with the wifey. Nice. What are you gonna get her? $1 million question. Cool. Oh, you're not Purge, you fucking asshole. Fuck you. Damn it, I fell for it. Friend of the stream, Brafiki, has been changing his color, the color of his text, and along with all the sub badges that he has, because he subscribes in so many places to collect sub badges, like I collect trophies. And so he has fooled me. He has fooled me, that bitch. Is Brafiki a cool guy? Bing Bong is Bing Bong. 8-Ball the stream. Bing Bong, is Brafiki a cool guy? Okay, he says. I guess you're an okay guy. Welcome in, Brafiki. Okay, fuck that Purge guy. Welcome in, Brafiki. Like, I don't know where Purge is then on the fucking. I know certain people have gifted subs. I don't remember them off the top of my head, like in terms of like where they are on the month shit. I just know I know Brafiki, Horizon, and Purge. And I think Tim. You guys are all kind of jumbled up on which ones are at which stages of the eggs. Anyway. Dishonored. Where are we at? I'm skipping the ones right now that are like really, really annoying. The Mystery Foe was cool, and then we get to like the two most annoying ones in the game. Headhunter, you complete Assassin's Run with 100% accuracy using only headshots. If you're not glitching through like the whole game, essentially, through walls, which I tried to do on this one because it was a little rough. Everyone does the glitch at the end, because there's like 3 enemies that immediately spot you, and if an enemy spots you and tries to attack you, it's like fucking impossible to actually shoot him within the assassins. Because they'll just like move the slice bit, and your lock onto the head is just like gone completely, and you miss it. So instead, what people do is they blink to like a bookcase, and then you get behind the bookcase. It's like up against the wall, and you like glitch through the wall essentially in the very last room. So that one's fine, but there's one in particular that's really, really annoying for this. First of all, like the targets to hit change every time through, like every single room has like a group of people, and so the targets for like group 1, 2, yeah, for 1 and 2 change which one they are. So like there's like 1 civilian in all of them, and then like the rest are assassins, and then it just cycles through like whichever ones are which randomly. But there's one guard in particular who's like on a staircase that keeps going up a staircase, and he teleports to the bottom of the staircase over and over again. If you wait long enough, sometimes he just glitches out where he stands still for at the top of the staircase forever. But otherwise, like, there's no way to consistently guarantee that. It's like trying to hit him when he's going up a staircase, like at a weird ass angle in the head, because you have to like compensate for the fact that there's a little bit of drop on the arrow. It's so fucking annoying. This one took hours. I think I don't know if I have the Headhunter clip saved. I definitely have the next one saved here. Bonfires? Oh yeah, I guess let me talk about some of these as well, because I now remember doing these. Train Runner is cool. Like, it's pretty easy. That's actually the way to do it for 3-star. Fucking back alley brawl. Okay, Bonfire. Bonfire is fucking awful. I had the video saved when I did it correctly. The fact that the first 2 of the 6 you gotta do are, like, correct is fine. Actually, let me catch up on chat here. 1 million doll hairs? What? Yeah, never mind. I'm not catching up on chat anymore. Fucking freak. Yeah, the fact that 2 of the jumps are the exact same location, but just from different areas is kind of lame. When you have 7 different checkpoints, why are you only using 4 spots for these 7 checkpoints for unique jumps? It just makes it annoying every time it's not the one you need. And also, the worst one is the one behind where you spawn in at, because where you spawn in at isn't even one of the checkpoints. It's like way further back. If they remove that one single checkpoint, this spawnfire thing would be much more doable. I'd be fine with it. But having to go all the way back to that area in the beginning, and anyone who's played this will know exactly what area I'm talking about. It's the one checkpoint, like lone checkpoint by itself. That one's the only time that one's even like kind of vaguely nice is if right afterwards you get one of the checkpoints you actually need, which is as you turn around, it's either the one on the left side where you run up the rock and jump down and land on the thing, or it's the one on the right where you jump on the platforms and then you just teleport through a window. Like, so for those two, it's actually not too bad. And you have a 2 out of 6 chance for it actually being one you want until you do one of those two, then it's obviously a 1 out of 6 chance. But obviously that tells you it's not even like a 50-50, it's like less than a 50-50, so it's worse in that sort of sense. But yeah, it's fucking terrible, because you could be as skillful as you possibly can be, and you will not get this trophy because of the fact the RNG will fuck you. So like, that's what makes this DLC really annoying, is these two very specific ones. It's having some RNG is fine, even if it's like a difficulty based thing, having like a little bit of RNG is fine. But having it be skill dependent, like really skill dependent, plus really RNG dependent, like having both those at the same time is a really bad combo, so very shitty. And on top of that, the same thing with the back alley brawl, where you have to killing all combatants personally. You could just have an enemy spawn in and like immediately kill another enemy next to him before you even had a chance to get over there. It's just like an RNG fest. You know, sometimes you get like caught up, maybe like a dog bit you or something on the way over, and all of a sudden the guy who's like spits fire just fucking kills like one of the weaker enemies, or you know, just a pain, absolute fucking pain. Very like just the amount of times I had to run it is just irritating. I had a little bit better luck than some other people have, but like, Jesus Christ, dude. It should... I don't know, like, how would I fix that, I guess? I guess... How would you, like, I guess you just wouldn't have that type of trophy at all, honestly. You would just, like... I guess the one way to fix it is, like, ask me to kill a certain amount of enemies. And I don't think it should be every single enemy, but I think there should be, like, when you reach wave 13, kill this many enemies, and don't have it be the absolute maximum, but have it be, like, really close to the maximum. Or alternatively, just say, like, kill this many enemies in Back Alley Brawl, because you can continue past wave 13. Like, wave 13, I think, is the endless wave where it keeps going. And, like, having, like, a certain amount of kills would still indicate, you know, some skill aspect of it to be able to survive that long and such. And I guess I know the idea would be, like, you'd be worried that, like, some people would just sit and let the other ones kill each other and then wait back, but that's also, like... It's not likely, and to do this trophy alone, you need to get, like, around, like, 50-something kills. It wouldn't be that hard to just be like, hey, get, like, 70 kills or something, right? Or, like, get, like, 60, even. And you'd still be doing the vast majority of the kills. Thanks for the lurk, Rafiki. Thanks for the lurk, imposter, man. Fucking purge. Damn it. So, like, I don't know, Dunwall City Trials I'd probably rate, like, an 8 out of 10. Like, it's good, but, like, there are some real... Like, it would easily be 10 out of 10, if not for the fact that, like, those two trophies are just absolutely horseshit. And honestly, Headhunter's kind of a pain in the ass, too, but, like, at least it's, like, a skill-based pain in the ass. Whereas those other two are just RNG-based pain in the ass. Because it's not consistent which enemies spawn in for Back Alley Brawl. Also, there's sometimes where you'll be, like, slicing up someone, and, like, an enemy just gets, like, one random hit, and they're, like, the last hit. Maybe you'll, like, wait too long, because, you know, you don't want to be, like, the last hit, or you don't want to, like, weaken them so someone else takes the last hit, and then, like, someone else dies on the map because you waited. So, there's that. Still love the game, though. Where was I at? Dishonored? Okay, Pac-Man World 2 Repack. This would be a 10 out of 10, if not for the fact that the, like, there is too much to fucking do with the time trials. They are way too... I mean, most of them are actually pretty easy. But, like, the whale fight... The whale fight time trial on... Honestly, I think both of the whale fights, but especially the second whale fight, is just utter horseshit. Like, it's way too fucking tight on the timing. it requires you to take an item with you. Like one very specific item you need to take with you, use it, and you can't use any sort of checkpoint. Like the checkpoint's already fucking terrible on it anyway. Like having to do that entire thing in one go is annoying because the level lasts so fucking long. And there's very little healing unless you like waste all your time. But yeah, the timing's just like ridiculously tight on that. And then the very last like hidden secret boss is actually just like bullshit. Like it's really like cheaply designed. It's one of the most cheaply designed bosses I feel like I've seen in a very long time. Like I've seen some janky ass bosses, you know, like in my time growing up, like PS2 game bosses here and there, but like Jesus Christ, dude. Why is this in a Pac-Man game? Like, why is this enemy this hard? Like, there are 3 phases, and there should be, like, even if you say that's, okay, the time trial one is, like, super hard, right? It's the main game. Like, fighting it without the time trial aspect is difficult, because there's no checkpoints throughout the fight, like, at all. So you do the first wave and the second wave, those are fine, but, like, third wave is just, like, horseshit, dude. And it's mainly due to the fact that you get knocked off the fucking platforms just constantly, because, like, the AoE hit is just way too massive on a small platform. And you have to break these crystals, and you only have like a tiny amount of time. You get to hit him like once or something, and then he puts it back up, and then you gotta break the crystals again. And then you got like it's it's just a pain in the ass. There's no healing even on stage 3 either, which is a bad call too. They should have added healing after like every part, like every single time you hit him or something. So like that's the only thing that really brings it down. Otherwise, I think this game's fantastic. So this game would easily get like a 9 out of 10 from me. But that does like that final like really secret hidden boss fight is actually so horseshit that it actually does bring it down the whole point. It's fucking crazy. Especially when we're talking like a Pac-Man game. Like, what is this difficulty in a fucking Pac-Man game? Like, this is supposed to be easy breezy shit. Like, I played some of the Crash Bandicoot shit that wasn't that difficult, man. Like, I platinumed Crash 1, 2, and 3 for the Insane Trilogy. And I've also done, like, I did the original games too, 100% each. But, like the PS1 versions. Granted, I did them on the PS3, like emulation, but like whatever, the same games pretty much. But yeah, that Pac-Man shit was harder. I mean, there were some points that Crash, to be fair, that were like really annoying, but like there was ways to mitigate that. I feel like in say Crash 2, which I felt like was probably where it got the hardest. In a couple spots where you really had to do this like giant section without dying on a couple spots. But yeah, something about like that final fight in Pac-Man World 2 is just like, are you fucking kidding me? So yeah, I used a fairy mode. The way I ended up doing this, I used like the built-in like healing fairy mode thing. Just like fuck you. Like I'm just cheating at this point. Like I ain't got time for this shit. Toy Story Mania. I own this on Wii. Like my aunt and uncle gave me this, and when I initially played it, I just thought it was kind of lame. It is still kind of lame, but like knowing that this is a ride at Disney, because I've since like played this actual ride at Disney, I think some of that's kind of neat, and there's some slightly neat aspects of it, but like it just kind of drags on. Like, yeah, it's nice that it's like, oh, this has a bunch of mini games, right? That's fair, especially because you'd want to get this out of this, you know, you want to get the most out of your game, because like for the price especially. But it just like wasn't really. It's pretty mid, like 5 out of 10. Like it's whatever. I'll say it's welcome. Cyvaria 3. This is another one of those gifted games I got. I think it's too expensive for what it is, but I think it's cool. The bullet hell thing. I'm not good at bullet hell games. Invincibility glitch. Yeah, we 100% use the invincibility just to do like the last little bits of this. Like the 5,000 buzz mode thing, that was just like, without an invincibility thing, would have been like fucking impossible to do, to be honest. I think the buzz idea is not too bad. And the game got better when you turned on the option to let you see like what your actual hitbox is, because you have these massive ships, but the actual hitbox is like this tiny little part in the middle. This tiny little bean in the middle, and it's not even noticeable unless you turn that on, so I think that helped me out quite a bit. I do like the differences of the characters, and it's cool to have like different characters with them. The difficulty stuff as you continue going through is interesting. The game was a little iffy about the very last boss fight, though. This fucking, like, these last two ones here. Because you had to play on a certain difficulty throughout, essentially, and you had to have like a certain score by the time you got it, but like the game wasn't really clear about how much you needed. And there are some parts where like I shot past that score and it still didn't let me do it. It's like there's a certain aspect of it. Like there's a, I don't know the exact thing that it needs to be, but there was like something off about it. But overall, this is cool, and like I never played the first two Sci-Fi RERs. Apparently, friend that streamed Platinum, so I did. And it's cool to see like a return of a series for people that enjoyed it. And I think it's a cool game. It's just like probably a little too expensive, and just like I'm not good at bullet hells. But that's not like the game's fault. That's like a me thing. That's a skill issue thing, I guess. So I don't know, like a 6.5, I guess. Like it's fine. Twisted Metal. So like I said this in the last stream, but essentially the order I played the Twisted Metal games in, for my first ever playthroughs of the Twisted Metal games, were essentially I played it in the order of 3, 4, 1, and 2. Like I say, Twisted Metal 1 is fucking rough, dude. Like you pretty much get the blueprint of what the series is going to be going forward here, and I think that's really cool. I think for the fact that it being like hey, we're gonna break through, like we're gonna be like the standout here and make this like weird new genre sort of deal. And I'm sure there's been like Demolition Derby type games before, but like not done to this way as far as I could tell. And the fact, I think one of the favorite things I do enjoy about the Twisted Metal games is I can see their influence on later games. For example, Crossout, being a game I've put like thousands of hours into, the free game Crossout. You can find, obviously it's on like Steam, PlayStation, yada yada. I did on PlayStation. But like I can see its influence there, and I can see its influence on a game that I had for PS2 called Monster Jam Maximum Destruction, which is a game I played a good amount as a kid. And it's a game that I got from someone, I got it as like a Christmas gift one time from a family member, a cousin, who passed away a little bit after giving me that. I don't know if it was like the next year or the year after, but he died in a car wreck, so it's like, yeah, it's one of those like sentimental games I have. Even though I don't remember the person too much, it's like, you know, it's just like it's like a link, like a family link, you know what I mean? It helps that it's a really good game, you know, like I still would have kept it if it was like a dog shit game, to be fair, but like the fact that it's a really fun game is very nice, cherry on top. But I can definitely see the influence, like that game is just Twisted Metal, but like with monster trucks instead. Like there is no fucking difference essentially to it. So I can see that influence on that, and so it's cool to like see the precursor of that in Twisted Metal for a game that I played like obviously a lot as a kid. So yeah, just to go like back to the what made that game exist is cool. Yeah, Twisted Metal 1 is like, it's weird because the controls are just awful in Twisted Metal. That's like the number one problem, is the controls are awful. Like the graphics I'm not really too worried about, like yeah, they're not as good, but like it's a fucking PS1 game. Honestly, the whole PS1 generation like kind of sucked graphics wise. Some games worked with the limitations, like I think the more cartoony games survive a lot better on looks, like Crash Bandicoot. Maybe not so much Spyro. Spyro looks a little janky, but some games definitely work better with it than others. But yeah, the controls are a bit rough, so like I don't remember what I would rate this game. Probably like a 6 or something. This is not the lowest rated game for me on the list for the grouping. I would have to see what I rated Twisted Metal 4 yesterday. I think I did Twisted Metal 3 as like an 8, I want to say. Like, just off the top of my head, how I would rate these personally, I would say, like, I know the order of how I would rate them. Like, 3 would be number 1, number 2 would be 2, 1 would be, like, place number 3, and then last place would be 4. I'm pretty confident about that rate, like, how I would stack those together like that. But yeah, I don't know, like, number-wise. Like, Twisted Metal 2 would go a little bit higher in the sense that like I'd probably give it like a 7 out of 10. Twisted Metal 2's problem is that it's fucking just actually harder. Like the controls are better, but the enemies are just way fucking harder. It's easily the hardest game of the series, I find. Except for, I mean, you can make the argument the very last boss in Twisted Metal 4 is just utter horse shit, but like otherwise, it's a pretty easy breezy game, whereas Twisted Metal 2 just like kicks you in the dick the whole way through. Also, to be honest, the Twisted Metal 2 boss was also like a giant fuck you. If we're being honest. So yeah, Twisted Metal 2 probably is the hardest by far. But I would rate it higher than Twisted Metal 1. Yeah, there's a reason this took me like 7 hours. My last boss is a fucking doozy. Obviously with these, like, I would play through the games, I guess to mention what I would do with Twisted Metal. I would play through the games legitimately through, like, once. Right? To, like, beat the whole, like, game as the characters, and then every other time I would just do the level codes to get me to the last level to play as the other characters, because all these games would have, like, collect your winning prize as, and then, like, you know, list the character, Twister, Roadkill, Axel, Mr. Slam, yada yada yada. Like, if I've already done it once, like, I don't really feel the need to play through the entirety of the game every single... Like, that's what the level codes are there for. And those are, like, the level codes that existed in the original PS1 releases as well, so it's like, whatever. Fucking Life is Strange Reunion. We'll talk about Life is Strange Reunion in a second. Actually, Crush, the best game ever. Now it's just AI slop 0 out of 10. Took 22 minutes. Anyway, Life is Strange Reunion. I think it's... Life is Strange Reunion is when I actually noticed that the fucking developer hasn't been Don't Nod since Life is Strange 2. I thought it's been Don't Nod the whole time, and then I looked it up and I was like, oh, actually, they stopped writing for the games right after Life is Strange 2. So, True Colors, Double Exposure, and Reunion have had the Deck 9 developer. And honestly, the writing has been way better since Deck 9 got involved. I do have some structural issues that I mentioned with Double Exposure, but I think Reunion's actually really well written. For the most part, and it is cool. Like, obviously they reuse some of their things for like they reused a lot of the sets from Double Exposure, but I don't mind them doing that because, I mean, let's be real, one of my favorite series is Yakuza, and Yakuza reuses the fucking Kamurocho like 5 million times. Like, come on now. Like, that's just smart gameplay, you know, reusing your assets. And as long as they're developing a new story that justifies, like, reusing the stuff, that's fine. You know what I mean? It's only an issue if it just, like, felt completely samey, but it's like, you know, the story takes goes to a bunch of new places. Both, like, actually new places and, like, narratively, so, like, it's fine. I do like the way it's kind of... Especially like the previous game was just like the way they did the Chloe section was just like if you kept her alive, like, it was just fun from the first game. But like the way they kind of work everything together for Reunion, I think is pretty cool. It's still weird with the Safi shit. I don't really get that too much. Like, it just feels, it felt really kind of just shoehorned in towards the end of everything with like the Max and Chloe and Moses. And some of the other characters too were pretty interesting as well. Like the weird, like the whole fire aspect of it was cool. I like the fact that, like, we're trying to, like, scientifically figure out how this power works and, like, building upon it. Like, how can I actually, like, what can I do with it, sort of deal. Like, that was really neat. Otherwise, I mean, the gameplay is pretty much the same you've always expected. Like, here's some choices, here's some collectibles. The collectibles are a little bit more annoying to get this time around, but otherwise, like, it's fine. I don't think it's as good as True Colors, but I don't know. See, I like the powers a lot more in Reunion than True Colors, but True Colors, like, just felt better written overall, except for, like, I don't know, some of the stuff with the colors, or some of the stuff with, like, the actual, like, emotion power shit was really weird and True Colors. I might like Reunion the best. I might. I guess I haven't really thought of it until now, like, having sat with the game for a while. Because obviously I platinumed the game back in June, so that was only 2.5 months ago. True Colors was, of course, platinumed, about, like, 3 years ago, give or take. Double exposure. Yeah, see, like when I think of double exposure, I still think of like some of the annoyances I had with it, even though I generally thought the game was okay. And then Life is Strange 2 just pisses me off. In Life is Strange 1, I look at that, I'm like, man, this is like so like badly written, but at the same time, it's like really entertaining. Someday, I was debating someday doing the remastered ones. There's like a collection that has like the remaster stuff. Because, I mean, they're pretty easy platinums to be fair. I'm also curious, why is there... I guess there is just 61 trophies. That's crazy to have 61 trophies. I always forget that it has 61. 59 bronze and 1 gold. What is the 1 gold trophy? Was it just like get all the collectibles? Just finish episode 5. So literally just like beat the game as a gold. That's fair, I guess, if you want to have a gold trophy that's beat the game. But I feel like collectibles probably get them in gold or at least silver, like fuck. But whatever, it's not a big deal. It's weird though, because that is the game that by far has the most trophies. Like, I think because what happened is they're taking the trophies from the PS3 release, which had no platinum, and they just like restacked that together for the. Or wait, no, the PS3 release did have a platinum. What the fuck? Huh? Weird. That's interesting. You know what? I'll stake the claim. Fuck it. I think Reunion's better than True Colors. That's fair. I think True Colors is pretty close. Double Exposure is like I feel like the only really weak one of the group. And I do have some minor gripes, like story-wise. Like I said, Safi, the Yasmin stuff is a little weird. I feel like, as well, in Reunion specifically. Whereas I felt like obviously she was much more main focus on Double Exposure. What else? I think that's mostly it. Yeah, I think that's mostly it. Just some of the stuff. There's a lot more like interconnected stuff with Reunion, which obviously in terms of like trophy hunting would have been more annoying, but like the fact that you have to do 2 playthroughs anyway, so I was always able to get it on the second playthrough. Because there's literally, just like the previous game, and I think this is like not a great choice personally, but like you do the choice of like, what choice did you make in Life is Strange 1? Did you choose option A or option B at the end of Life is Strange 1? And that would be fine if the game justified that by like adding a bunch of new like aspects of it. In this game, I think adds a little bit more aspects of it than the previous game did. Like the previous game just like essentially just said like fuck it, who cares? Like you just have like one text message difference essentially, and then nothing else was like different about it at all, pretty much. Whereas Reunion, I didn't really pay too much attention to the second playthrough because 99.99% of it is the exact same. But I think they did add a little bit more like flavor text type shit. That at least tried to justify it more, but still, it's like a little lackluster to just have to force you to play the whole game again just because of that. But because I had to play the whole game again, that means I didn't even have to I didn't look at any of the collectible shit at all. I try not to, especially if it's like a quick game. So I probably wouldn't have anyway, but it's nice to know that like I don't even have to like passively think about it in the back of my mind. Of course, I try to like find everything on my own anyway, but yeah, it is what it is. A Way Out. Played with friend of the stream Rios, who was in the stream but a moment ago and is probably still here, listening in the background, waiting for the moment that A Way Out is mentioned. This was a lot of fun. I don't think it's as good as It Takes Two, but I like the dynamics of the characters. I think if they had a little bit more of an emotional core, I would have resonated more with A Way Out as like more of like a kind of a buddy cop comedy type of aspect. It's not too bad. I kind of thought it was gonna stay in the prison a lot longer than it did. Like spoiler alert, I guess you break out of A Way Out. But there's a lot more like aspects past that were interesting, and I like that it's like a it's a period piece, right? It takes place in the late 60s or early to mid 70s, maybe even late 70s, I'm not sure, but like it takes place before the 80s, so it's like it's interesting to see that for that sort of aspect, and you know, the twists and turns of the story, which I'm not going to mention here, but like there's some neat aspects of it. And I like that there's like different ways to handle, you know, like one character wants to handle something one way and then the other character wants to handle it a different way, so you gotta vote on which way you're gonna do it. And there are like tangible differences to how you do it, like they actually feel like differences, even if like the end goal is still gonna end up being the same. Like I feel like that's how you do it. Which Life is Strange does that sort of similar thing too, where it's like, I mean, you can make the choice, like you can make the argument choices don't matter in a game like some of the Telltale games or like Life is Strange or something like that. Like making it feel like it matters, even if the end goal is the same, but like making the path to it feel like there's differences that you're affecting is like, you know, it works. It's a solid strategy. It's definitely not. Nothing's gonna top the thing with the fucking elephant in It Takes Two, though. I'm not gonna mention what it is, but like the very end bit with the elephant, like, I mean, that's gonna hit more than like anything that A Way Out does, easily. So I don't know, A Way Out, it's probably like a 6.5. It's fine. Before we move on to the obvious game that I'm gonna be talking about and probably gushing about for the most part, Minecraft Set 2. All that happens is Minecraft periodically gets bumped up to the top of the list because they just release periodically, like every 6 months I think or so, release an expansion that just has a single trophy. So every time I'll earn the single trophy for the PS5 and the PS4 version, and then the list gets bumped up. So that's all that is. And plus I use a trophy world anyway when it comes to PS4, PS5, PS3, like I said in the previous stream, because we got to that finally. I did it all fully legit, but PS4, PS5 is just like whatever, I just get into the thing, get out. Minor mentions as we go forward here, before I get back down to the bottom here. The Walking Dead, PS3, because the PS3 store was like shutting down, I did some DLC stuff. I finally bought some DLCs and did some of them. So the 400 Days one, I've already done that before, so I'm not going to reiterate that. Nothing is different about the PS3 version. Likewise, Dishonored, I found out they had a Game of the Year disc, so I did all that. Finally. So that was pretty neat. Still, those trophies I mentioned before, By My Hand Alone and Daredevil, are just like a massive pain in the ass. It's cool though because in this case, for the PS3 one, I had to redo all the missions that I did not do previously. So there were some missions that I did like first try, or like only took a couple tries back in the day, like Train Runner and shit like that. So like I didn't actually remember them because like it had been like 2019, and then 2026 is obviously when I started cleaning up those. But I didn't remember like the several I had done outside of that, but they didn't take too long. But this time I had to do all of them, so I was like, oh, that's cool. And I actually streamed the entirety of me playing. Like I said, I have a clip of it because I streamed the entirety of the PS3 run, I think, specifically, of my Dishonored runs of, what is it, Dunwall Trials. Same thing with Aliens, Colonial Marines, picked up the DLC. I gotta say, the DLC, I haven't talked about this game at all yet because we haven't reached that part. Okay, I'll wait to talk about that game then. I guess technically I did talk about the game because I beat it initially, but we'll talk more about it when we get to that point. Watch Dogs, it's just DLC shit, so just caught up on that. Sleeping Dogs, we streamed that very recently. The 2 DLCs I had to do for that, so that was done at the beginning of the month. The VODs are dead now, but that's fine. Because one of the clips is, I think, live on my YouTube now. If it's not live yet, it should be live soon. I try to schedule out clips and videos like every other day. One every other day, so I have like a bit of a backlog to fall on if I need to wait some time out. I guess that's all like the side ones before I go back down to where I actually was. Alright, let's talk about 007 First Light. So, big 007 fan. I played a lot of I played a good amount of GoldenEye growing up, like the N64 GoldenEye, but I also played like a shitload of the N64. The World Is Not Enough. That's actually the game I put a lot more time into. And honestly, I think it's a better game than GoldenEye in most aspects. Like the music, obviously, in GoldenEye is like way better. Like whoever was fucking doing the rare, like I know there's the meme of like the rare, like okay, we just need to make some pause music for this game. Like it doesn't have to be anything special, and then they have like and the dude's just like jamming as they're listening to like, okay, yeah, I came up with this little thing. So yeah, the music in GoldenEye N64 is just like top tier. Like, so I'm not gonna even pretend otherwise. But I think most of the gameplay aspects, because like The World Is Not Enough was not made by Rare. It's made by Eurocom, which does most of the 007 shit. To be fair, but yeah, they got to build off of, like what GoldenEye did. So it's like I think it worked pretty well. The only thing that was weird about The World Is Not Enough is that there was an issue with. What was it? There was an issue with the fact that like the company behind it, I think Fleming's kids, made a deal that like good characters couldn't fight other good characters in the multiplayer, which was not the case in GoldenEye, but was the case for The World Is Not Enough. So like you couldn't have like James Bond on one team and M on the other. They had to be on the same team. So like that kind of restricted some of the cool like fake scenarios I could play in my head, like fun little like, oh, what if this character turned rogue, or like it didn't make a huge deal at the end of the day, but like it's like, dude, like you don't understand what multiplayer is. Then fundamentally, like this is such a stupid thing to hang your hat on when this is clearly just like some random side content and not the main game. Like obviously the main game, like have all the control you want, I guess, to an extent, but like fuck, man. Except for the fact that Quantum of Solace had too much control and they fucked over that game. Like that game being bad is 100% because of the people that own the film rights, essentially ruining that fucking game. They wouldn't give them the script, like they wouldn't give them most of the details of Quantum of Solace, so they pretty much just had to make a Casino Royale game with like a couple parts of Quantum of Solace. And then some of the parts apparently were even wrong because they were dealing with the beta version, and so eventually when they changed it for the main film, some aspects were wrong. Which is probably why every time I think of Quantum of Solace, the video game, I just think of, oh, you mean that game that was just mid? The game does have trophies for the PS3 version, but I own it on PS2, and I don't have any desire to ever get the PS3 version. I guess if for sure I did like the online of like these other 007 games, the PS3 era ones that have unofficial trophy servers or unofficial like servers up where you would get banned off of PSN profiles. Or sorry, you would get you would get kicked off the leaderboards. You wouldn't get banned as in your account, but you would get kicked off the leaderboards playing these servers. Because these aren't official servers, and so they try to act like, oh, there's no way for us to know, if you like change like XP values or something, right? Like, I don't know, I think it's a little too fucking stingy, to be honest. But yeah, I would only do Quantum of Solace in that case if I were to do Bloodstone and Goldeneye first. First I would do Goldeneye, then I would do Bloodstone. And if I did both of those, then I maybe would be willing to do Quantum of Solace, like buy the game, play through the whole game, do the story mode trophies, and then do the online. But that's a huge fucking maybe, and I mentioned earlier why I haven't been able to do that for when I was talking about Bloodstone. So it's probably never gonna happen. First Light though. So yeah, anyway, as a big like 007 fan in terms of, especially like the movies, yeah, obviously, but like the games especially. Like PS2 era 007 games were fucking crazy good, and so were the N64 era games, but I was pretty excited because I did like Hitman. I really like 007 games, and so like I thought for sure this game was gonna be great, and this game was great, and like I was really glad to be proven right. I actually own the Golden Gun version of the game, so like anytime I'm streaming, I can see that Golden Gun display case in the corner of the room here. That's pretty dope as shit. That was a cool little birthday gift. But the reason I haven't platinumed this yet is because this was actually going to be the Platinum 500, but then the fact that friend of the stream Ritos mentioned like, oh, 007, wouldn't that be cool as Platinum 700 because it's like backwards 007? I was like, fuck, that's actually kind of a good idea. But then I was like, yeah, okay, well, whatever, right? Like, I don't have a Platinum 500 lined up. And then it's like, oh, then they like announce, hey, we're going to release Black Ops in like, I don't know, like a week or two. And then I was like, fuck, man, like, come on now. Because I don't really. I try to do my milestone platinums every 100 as a series that ideally not. I mean, eventually, I guess in the future, it could potentially be a series. Like I go back to the same series, but ideally, it should be a different series every time. Of a series I really give a shit about, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the best game from the series. For example, I did Daxter for Platinum 300. I like Jak and Daxter 1, the Precursor Legacy, more than I like Daxter, but Daxter is a very fine game too. And so it represented the Jak and Daxter series for me, because I don't own a Vita, so I can't do any of the other Jak and Daxter stacks, because I own every other Platinum trophy for Jak and Daxter besides the Vita stacks. What did the music stop playing? What the fuck happened? Video pause. Continue watching? It's music, asshole. Yes, continue watching, you fucking dickhead. Jeez. It's like, I don't know how music works. Like, and I know it's like classified as music. But if I scroll down here, the comments are turned off, and that's what they do for like music specifically. For some of these, because this is like a topic channel, which was auto-created by YouTube. Because someone uploaded their music to YouTube through that. It's like, they know it's music, so what the fuck do you, like, why should I have to, whatever. Whatever, we're done making fun of you, YouTube, for now. I ain't got time for you. But yeah, so essentially Black Ops 1 became, Black Ops 1 and 2 became the ideas of doing 500, and then just with the way of like doing all these other trophies I was doing, it became pretty clear that Black Ops 1 was going to be Platinum 500, and I would just have to do Black Ops 2 like a little bit later. I actually plan on starting the zombies of Black Ops 2 with the friends of the stream, the Platinum Zwei, Rafiki, who was in here earlier, pretending to be Purge Mist, and Old Samos. Because we were that's pretty much been the zombies group so far doing Black Ops 1, so we'll continue then to Black Ops 2 hopefully next week. Anyway, 007 First Lights, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, so now that it's going to be Platinum 700, which I don't know, that'll probably happen in several years, so I'm not really holding my breath too much on it. It'll probably be like more like a year and a half, I would guess, but still, like, it's very annoying. Unless, if the next game in the series, it's not going to be called Second Light, that'd be dumb as hell. But like, let's just make the argument that the next game in the series is going to be called Second Light, just so I could like talk about it, right? If Second Light came out before I got to Platinum 700, and I could reasonably do it in time, then yeah, then I would Platinum First Light a little early. I guess if also Second Light happened to be a good game, because this game is fucking amazing. Like, the story's great. I do like he's not as much of a, like, they changed his look a little bit. Was the initial like trailers they showed of him, he looked like, too much like a fuckboy to me. But I don't know, they made him look a bit better by the time the launch happens. And I do like that he's more cocky with stuff, being like just fresh, working his way towards a recruit. Like, he's not like super, like, he's still suave, but he's not like the, yeah, he's not like the super calm, collected version that we see later in for like the films and shit. And he still cracks a bunch of like dry one-liners that you would see in the films, which is nice. Obviously, still gets the girl. Still has like cool spy work. I think it worked really well with the fact that they included as much Hitman as they did, so that you could actually do a bunch of spy work as 007. Because I feel like most 007 games, almost none of them actually have you doing spy aspects. It's just like, here's shootouts, and here's like car chases and motorcycle chases and like stuff like, and that's all cool as shit, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy that. Everything or Nothing being like a great example of a game, and that's what I was hoping for this game. I was hoping it was essentially going to be like a Everything or Nothing type of spiritual successor, like at least in terms of like how the gameplay was, and I was glad to find out that was the case to an extent. Obviously it's much more Hitman than I thought it was going to be. Which, yeah, they're obviously the Hitman developers, but there's a little bit more of it than I thought it would be. But I don't think it's a bad thing that that's the case. I mean, play to your strengths, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely more linear than some people, I guess, were expecting. But I'm glad to see, like, people just loved it. Because it pretty much guarantees that, like, hey, we're gonna keep doing this shit. There was, like, a little bit of a section where Amazon was kind of like, oh, I don't know, we're gonna handle the games going forward. It made it sound like that they weren't gonna do, like, IO Interactive wasn't going to be the one holding it in terms of doing it. And now I know, like, because of contract shit, so IO Interactive has, like, a much sweeter deal for this first game. than Amazon would like, because Amazon wasn't really the sole owner of everything 007 until after the contract was made for First Light. But yeah, I'm glad that a sequel will be happening, for sure. I really hope that if, like, the idea of a sequel, I hope that it comes out before 2028, because I really want these on discs, because it's gonna be, to me, it's gonna be lame as fuck having just digital only for these. I don't like, yeah, there's some cool stuff like the Golden Gun thing I have. It'd be cool to have like some aspects like that where it's like, oh hey, here's collector edition type stuff. But I don't want like digital code in a box. I don't like that for most games. The games I relegate to digital only for me are games that either have only digital like as the only option, which in this case would be like mostly some indie games, right? Where I feel like they're not as established enough to really find making physical versions viable. And even then, there's plenty of indie games that get physical editions. I mean, Hollow Knight, Hat in Time, obviously the music we're listening to right now. And there's some other ones too. I mean, like Neighbor that we did recently has physical edition. The problem is, like, some of those feel like they're really expensive, so I understand why some of those games wouldn't get it. But like major games like this would 100% would absolutely have it. I like the music kicking up here, like faster and faster. But yeah, this was really cool. I like the different varieties of the levels, different ways to tackle it. I like that there's more spy aspects of it for sure. In terms of trophies, I held off for the reason that I mentioned previously. I would probably go back and do this what if trophy really quickly. I was waiting for like more content to drop for the game essentially, but like some of these I would hold off on like collectible wise, just due to the fact like these are all the collectibles I got just playing the game normally without looking up any sort of guide whatsoever. So 58 out of 92, a little bit over half. Essentially half of the playing cards, a little bit more obviously, but essentially half the playing cards. Most of them mementos. Wait, how is it? What? How is it that I have like 50? Hold on. Let's add all these up real quick. 10, 23, that's obviously 33, plus the 36. 69, haha, funny. It's the 14. It's the 9. That's 92. So that is 92. Huh. I guess, I don't know, something about this just looked like I was like... These all kept looking like they were like a decent amount above halfway, and so it seemed like from this, when I saw 58, I was like, wait a second, that just doesn't feel like... Feels like it should be higher if I'm like past halfway like this on all of these. But, I mean, this is past halfway, but I don't know, I just thought it would be higher. But never mind. Funny math times, I suppose. Man, this song fucking slaps. This one specifically, I was really hoping to get to this song. We're definitely not getting through the entirety of the Hat in Time OST. Maybe on the next stream that I do with the big like 500 celebration, we could do that. Like continue more of the soundtrack here, and that'd be nice. But we shall see. Anyway, back to this sort of shit. Attack sim stuff is alright, I'm not really too... it's whatever, it's pretty much just the escalations back again. But yeah, eventually... some of the collectible stuff was kind of cool too. I did have that one audio bug that was really funny. It hasn't been uploaded to YouTube yet specifically, obviously the whole playthrough has. But a bunch of the 007 clips have been backlogged for fucking ages here. Since May. Well, since I guess June and May, but we'll get those up eventually here. Anyway, let's move on to another game. Okay, I guess what would I rate 007 First Light? Like a 9? A 9 out of 10, probably? I think it's really fucking good. I guess in terms of like some of the aspects seemed a little ridiculous. Like the plane fight shit seemed a little weird. Not to say that 007's never had like some weird off the wall shit, but some of it's like that definitely just felt like Uncharted. Like especially when you're falling out of the plane without a parachute and then like whatever. That was weird. Some of the Hitman aspects were a little too Hitman-y for like immersion type shit. So like for example, you know, if you're climbing up like a pipe or something and you're clearly in view of a bunch of people but like no one reacts if you're like too far away, essentially, and it's like that's kind of weird. Like anyone would be able to see this. So there's like little things like that sometimes that are off, but otherwise mostly fine. And I do like some of the emotional depth they give with like the person running, like helping run the program, Greenway I think his name was. Like there's a lot of cool shit with that. A lot of the moral ambiguity with M and Moneypenny to an extent too, which I mean partially exists in the films as well, in some of them anyway. But definitely it felt like a much more portrayed here, like in like okay, there's like someone trying to run something and like pragmatism of that, even though they know like something's wrong, but they got to do it a certain way because they got to play the, you know, it's like the Game of Thrones, you either win or you die trying or whatever. Yeah, I think 9 out of 10 is probably good for that. Oh, okay, one last thing I forgot to mention actually with it. The combat's cool. Like in terms of like being able to like throw a gun is neat. Being able to throw a bunch of shit just like in the like you definitely feel like you're scrapping just like frantically, you know, trying to fight for your life type shit, and that's cool as fuck. So anyway, let's move on to Faye. Faye. So I ended up getting the reason I played A Way Out and Faye because I ended up getting also Unravel because I ended up getting. It was on sale for at one point instead of the $5.99 or $8.99 or whatever the hell it was normally for 1 month of EA Access. Is it Access? Whatever their service is, like that lets you get access to a bunch of their catalog. It's probably called EA Access. I can probably look that up right now, actually. Because I have my PlayStation on. You can't see it on my end, but I could probably look this up pretty easily here. Okay, PlayStation Store. Subscriptions. Okay, what do we got? EA Play. Okay, see, I had a feeling it was off. Okay, so EA Play. Yeah, they had like an 80% off or 84% off or some shit. I don't know. It was like $1 to buy it. Like $1.50 or something. It was very cheap to buy access for an entire month, so I could play multiple games that were EA games. So yeah, Faye is like... Faye reminds me a bit of... What would I explain? Like, there's a bunch of cool platforming aspects to it. But like, there's a lot of like stealth hiding from shit type of aspects that kind of remind me of Little Nightmares a bit. I'm trying to remember what the platforming aspect specifically reminded me of. I feel like I mentioned it at some point, but I like completely forgot what it was. But yeah, this game is pretty cool. I think some of the collectible grinding at the very end was a little much in terms of like getting back to the areas after you beat the game. I feel like should have been a little bit better. And this game does a thing that I don't like when games do, where they give you a really good ability for traversing the whole... Like, they give you something that's really, really cool, but without any way to really make use of it. So in this case, yeah, I could just traverse the map just for fun. But like, the time where it would have been really cool to traverse the map as well as I did there would have been when I was collectible farming at the end of the game. So it's like giving me something like really, really cool that I can use, but like not giving me like a good incentive to use it at the end. It's kind of lame. But that's such a minor gripe. I mean, this game is just... Story's cool, looks good, controls well. I enjoyed it. This is like a solid 8 out of 10. But yeah, another game that I think of immediately that annoys the hell out of me when it does that. I love the game Gun. It's a game by Neversoft. It's a PS2 game. It's very similar to like Red Dead, so like, you know, cowboy like story of like trying to find out your place in this world, essentially. In this case, it's something to do with like your father, who you thought was your father, but actually isn't, and there's a big conspiracy with that shit. and some Lost City Gold type shit. So maybe it's a little bit more akin to like a Call of Juarez, Bound in Blood type thing. But if you 100% everything gun, you get like an exploding shotgun. But this is after you've already collected every single bounty in the game, and you've done the whole main, like the main quest and all the side quests and everything. So like there's nothing to really use it on except for just random civilians and just like random animals out and about. I think random. I actually forget even if the animals are active. There's animals you hunt, but I don't remember if the animals are there outside of hunting. Besides maybe like horses or something. Essentially, there's like not a good place to use the thing. I understand you don't want to be overpowered, but like you could solve that by maybe letting you get access to it in like a new game plus mode or something. Like that'd be kind of neat. Otherwise, it's like a minor gripe. I love that game, but that's not a game I platinum, so we don't get to rate it. No, let me talk about Unravel before I talk about Destiny 2. Jeez. Okay, Unravel. Unravel is really, really cool. I like the story. I like the aspect of it being like some yarn creature that's unique. The gimmick with the yarn, having to collect more and make bridges and shit with it. Connect some things. That's all really cool. So this game would normally rate pretty high. Like normally, I feel like I would normally rate it like a 9 out of 10. But the problem I have with this game, and I hope that the sequel addresses it, because I did buy the collection, so I do actually own Unravel 2. But the fact of the matter that Unravel 2 has a fucking 1.46 earn? What is the hard trophy here? What is it? Oh, that's gross. It says travel from the island with the tables back up to the life buoy at the rapids. Travel between two barrels and at the rapids without touching the water. Make it between the two moose signs and ashes to ashes without using any directional inputs. Survive 5 pike attacks in a row without using your lasso in the pike chase. These look annoying as fuck, actually. And I was just about to say this, so like this actually has... This confirms a bit of a fear I have. The worst part of Unravel 1, by far, is the fucking water physics. The water physics are... Like, if you're on something that's floating on water, it controls like ass. Like, there's just weird aspects where sometimes you will, like, there's just certain puzzles that require... Especially, this is obviously the worst in, I find, like, near the ice part of it. Because there's, like, trying to survive on the ice, and so the character just slides off sometimes, even as you... Like, you have to just frantically jump and hope that, like, you stay on for the most part. And there's like a weird part with a log that was really annoying for the mosquito area, I believe it was. Where like you have to tie it into a log and then you have to like fill in the water and then you jump on the log before it gets too far away from you, sort of thing. It's just like sometimes you would fail it, and it kind of matters in a game where you have to survive these like in one go without dying for each individual level. You don't have to do the whole game in one go, but you have to survive each individual level. And there's some levels that were just like fucking horseshit, like with that, mainly because the water physics being just off. I felt like. And honestly, like, the mosquito thing was pretty bad, too, in this game. Where you had to, what was it? Make it through the mire in one go without swatting any mosquitoes. That's annoying because, like, the jumping, like, the thing to swat them away is the same thing for, like, looping your fucking lasso on, like, the certain points to platform around, so yeah, it's just a lot of like weird moving around shit, and there's also some water sections with that too that were just like really annoying. Yeah, so that's like my major gripe with it, so I'd probably put it more down to like a 7.5, to be honest. If you didn't have to worry about not dying, it wouldn't be a big deal, because you would just die in those sections like once and it'd be like, okay, well, whatever, right? We'll just continue onward. But the fact that they added a trophy for not dying makes those water sections much more annoying than they need to be. So yeah, probably like a 7.5. But the fact of the matter of Unravel 2 is harder in terms of platinum, it looks like, by like a good chunk. And 2, the fact that it mentions water specifically multiple times for like the hardest trophies tells me that it's probably going to be the same bullshit, which is unfortunate. But to be fair, I wasn't really planning on getting to the game anytime soon anyway, so that's a future me problem, I suppose. You know what's really cool is when you open a fucking application accidentally, and then it takes like 10 years to open. It's like I can't close this until you open it. So you have to open it first for me to close this immediately. Until then, it just like slows down everything on my damn computer. So, anyway, I did like Unravel a lot, but yeah, there were some aspects of it that were annoying as hell. Indiana Jones: The Great Circle. I can only comment on the fact that I've done the first set of missions, which is that entire first Vatican area, essentially. And it's cool. I really, really enjoy it. I like the slower pace. I like that it's like more stealth based. I like the collecting of a bunch of stuff. A big fan of it so far. It's a nice mix of like stealth and combat, and like intrigue of the world and such. I mean, some of the aspects seem a little ridiculous, but it is an Indiana Jones film, so it's an Indiana Jones game, which those films are usually kind of over the top in some aspects too, so I don't mind it too much. But I've seen the investigative work for Indy is pretty good. Yeah, the voice acting is pretty good too, and the graphics look good, so I have high hopes for the game so far, having done a little bit, but I still need to do more. What happened is I had to delete Indiana Jones for like some other game. I want to say like Black Ops or something, I'm not sure, but I definitely, maybe PUBG. It was probably PUBG. Well, it would have eventually been PUBG for sure, but that only took a couple days. Probably Black Ops. Anyway, where are we on to now? Aliens Colonial Marines. This game's just trash, to be honest. It's super fucking mid. Like, the game by itself is probably like a 4 out of 10. It's pretty whatever. The online farming is kind of annoying too. I do like that you can work on challenges. Like, there's a challenge in each category. I don't like that the challenges you have to do in the specific order though. So sometimes, for example, there's like a challenge category that would be like, there's one that's mostly story based. There's one that can be done either in story or online, and then there's one that's like almost entirely online based. And so you work towards, and they all go in order for like, 1 to like 36 or 1 to 13, depending on how many there are. But you have to do them in order. So, like, for example, one of the ones for the campaign one is like beat on mission on hard or higher, and that's fine. But then the very next one is beat on ultimate badass or harder, just a single mission, and it's like I just did that. So like it should have counted both of them, but it doesn't. And if you already beat the game on ultimate badass, which is highest difficulty, you'd have to go back and like redo missions. So shit like that's kind of annoying, especially for the online grinding, because it'd be like just constant like whatever annoyances with that. I did that with from the stream the Platinum Why, so that took a bit of grinding. Luckily he made it go quicker with that, which is good. Surprisingly the online is still up, which is the only reason I even decided to go back to this game. But yeah, since the PlayStation Store was shutting down, I almost didn't buy this, but I was like, fuck it, we'll just buy it, then, get it out of the way. And I actually didn't mind it, the DLC specifically. Like I said, the main game's like a 4 out of 10. This DLC is probably more like a 6.5 out of 10. Maybe a 6. Probably a 6, yeah. Just the presentation of the storytelling just ups it by a couple points. It's definitely told a lot better here. Definitely feels more cinematic. Feels more of what like the original game should have been. Obviously the AI isn't really any different, but yeah, it's a cool story added to it. So that's neat. Okay, I was putting this off for a while. I guess we'll just talk about it. I'm in love with your dead grandmother. This DLC, like, I already talked about the main game, I believe. the fact that it's just pretty... Did I? I'm actually not sure if I did, judging by that date. I wonder if I actually did talk about it. This was just a free game, and so that's the only reason I did it. And it is funny, and I like... He like green screens himself essentially into the game and does all these weird things, and it's like all like wacky, doesn't take itself seriously, even with the name, obviously. And a bunch of different game modes. It is in a very catchy fucking theme song for it, actually. That berates you to buy a skin in the game, which is very funny. Shout out to me being a recent forum post. But yeah, the funny of the game kind of wore off about level 30 here, about to reach rank 30. It took way too long to fucking grind levels on this. Like, it sucked. If you had like a full group dedicated to grinding levels, it'd be a little bit different, but like I was just grinding on a second controller essentially. Like where I'd have one controller there and I just grind, like it was a slog. And then they released, I finally got the DLC because it was on sale, the paid DLC. And it's kind of lame because it's like season pass things. If you can tell, it says complete all tasks to finish challenge 2, 3, 4, all the way through 8. But challenge 1 is literally by the battle pass. That's the only challenge for challenge 1 for week 1. And you have to do the challenges in order. So you can't just do these, even though you can actually do the requirements for them, of course. But they won't count the progress of them until you do them in order. It's like, that's annoying as hell. And a couple of these were just really like, they were in modes that like, obviously no one plays the game. Holy shit, man. I'm never gonna get the stream done if I had to keep fucking muting the mic every like 30 seconds because people won't shut the fuck up in the house. It's crazy. That's the only problem, and this is part of the reason why I used to stream like way later, is to avoid this issue, but like it's not really viable now that I have a dog, because then it's like I can't just keep the dog awake by doing streams, but like goddamn, dude. This, yeah. Sorry, it's annoying to me. I don't like audio issues if I can help it. So it bothers the hell out of me, because then I gotta go in and like fix it. But yeah, challenge-wise, it's oh my god. Dude, all fucking day today, seriously? At least these tunes are banging in between, that's very nice. Really like the fucking soundtrack of, we've actually almost made it all the way through, the second world of Hat in Time soundtrack, that's not too bad. But yeah, anyway, the challenges were like annoying, because like some of them were just like really difficult and there's not that many people playing, and like the amount of like RNG based for like the zombies game mode, for example, was just fucking stupid, like getting the key. It's like there's two different options. You either buy from like a random vending machine, which could give you any item in the game and it's cheaper, but like that takes forever, or you save up a bunch of money and you buy from this like vending machine that gets you a key. That's a 1 of 3 keys, and you can get the same key, so it's always a 1 out of 3 chance no matter what. And so you can just get like screwed over and over and over again. It's like fucking stupid. Other than that, most of this was mostly fine. Some of the challenges would kind of bug out in a good way, in the sense that it would like count progress from like previous modes even though you didn't do it, and sometimes it would count more than what you actually did in a match, but not by much, and it was only a couple of challenges that were like that. But yeah, glad to have this done, but yeah, it was too much of a slog. Luckily I found other people that were playing it, and I just happened to like squeeze myself in to do it essentially. So what would I give this game? This is like a solid like 3 out of 10 to be honest. It's only saved by the fact that it's like mildly funny here and there. Otherwise it's not worth it. It's totally not worth it. We were talking about Watch Dogs. PUBG, let me complain about PUBG before we go to Sam & Max here. A good game, Sam & Max is. But let me just bitch about PUBG. So the trophies have been broken on PUBG since like fucking launch on PS5. Since November of PS5, or yeah, November of PS5, the year of our Lord PS5, since November of 2025. So it would only count, I don't know how they fixed it specifically, but it would only count the progress you made within a single match, and then when that match ended, your progress would be reset. So you can only unlock trophies that you would be able to earn in a single match. So for example, a trophy like kill 1,000 players by any means is impossible in a single match because there's only 100 players, and obviously you're one of those 100 players, so you can only kill 99 players in a single match. It's like kill 100 players by any means is literally impossible. Also, I mean, even if it was 99, it'd be like feasibly impossible because like people are dying in the storm. People like like realistically, the most kills I've ever gotten is like around like 30 something. I would say like 36, 38, something like that. And those are mostly like those are okay. Like 99% of this is a bot lobby, maybe even 100% of it, because it's like set crossplay off, sort of shit. And playing at like weird times, and so that helps. Yeah, they finally fixed it a couple months ago, or last month rather, and so everyone was able to do this. So now I'm one of the people with the platinum. I'm the 4th person to get the platinum, so that was cool. And now, more than how many people own this platinum actually? 116. But yeah, I'm number 4, baby, woo! Top 5 platinum. And there were a couple of them that kind of still bugged out a bit, but yeah, that was just really annoying. They kind of pestered the fucking team for like 8 months on tickets and in their Discord and stuff like that until finally it got fixed somehow. I'm not sure how, but like whatever, at least it worked. Now I don't have to touch the game anymore, which I wasn't planning. Like, I don't plan on doing it anymore because, like, bulk crafting, we're going full in on AI for like integrating into our whole workspace. It's like that's lame as fuck. It's like, yeah, we're gonna work on this whole AI thing that will help with like the updates and stuff. Meanwhile, your fucking game's broken for 8 months. Like, cool, thanks, man. Which it's broken before, like I mentioned previously. I'm sure on the PS4 stack. The 2 PS4 stacks. I did a North American stack, and literally, I literally got the ghillie suit trophy like a day or two before it broke for every console. Like, it broke every console and Steam for like 6 months. And so when I did the European stack, I did all the trophies except for that. And so I had to wait 6 months, or I guess at that point it would have been like 5.5 months after I got all the other trophies. So I had to wait like 5.5 months for them to finally fix it, so I could get the one trophy I was missing, which was equip the ghillie suit. And the ghillie suit still existed. I just think what happened is they placed in like a different slot in the character, like where it gets connected to, and so it was a case of like maybe it's just not now counting or something. And so that was annoying as hell. But yeah. Sounds like a Christmas song. It's playing. This is Heart to Heart, but I don't... The name of the track is Heart to Heart, but I don't remember where this plays specifically. Actually, I guess this would be... If this is the Battle Award for it. Yeah, this is probably the very end of the... Thanks for yelling at me as I was reading something. How you doing, Sam? Yeah, so PUBG, I mean, I wouldn't change my score from previously. It's a fun game, but man, it sucks that the developer sucks ass. And they're bad at what they're doing. We'll talk about Sam Max in a second, because I think it'd be better to talk about both of them back to back here. Music Drive, Chase the Beat, that was like a press engine game. Honestly, I mean, the gameplay is really underwhelming. And, price is probably a little too high, because like this should really be like a $2 game or lower. But that said, like the music in it's pretty good, and I like that it's like some Brazilian Portuguese rap that plays throughout, and it's actual like artists that release music and stuff. And it did ruin that VOD in the sense that like if I ever were to get the YouTube monetized, I would not make any money off that because there's just so many claims on it. Which I thought about fighting, because like, oh yeah, I got this as like a review code, but like, fuck it, who cares, whatever, it's fine, you can have it. Sleeping hungry but want to stream? Maybe I don't. The dilemma of wanting to stream or not. Bing Bong, do you think Coach Sam should stream?
If I say yes, will you take me with you?
Will you take him with you, Sam? If he says yes, will you take Bing Bong with you? To whatever you end up streaming. Whether it be Destiny 2 or NBA or politics or some Star Wars game or something. And I mentioned that because the segue to Monopoly Star Wars Heroes versus Villains. It's really weird. I'm not personally a fan of it, but I do like that Monopoly is... Like, this is like a weird, unique twist on Monopoly. How is the Ousel? I need some motivation. Okay, what do we got for motivation here? Any of my sound alerts, are they motivating? We got the song Gypsy in My Mind, the classic, so yeah, you know, we'll play this. This is what that sad cat dance thing is that costs 2.5 million, but has been playable by everyone through the free sound alert thing of it. Actually, no, did I swap it to 5s? Oh, that's probably what it is. I swapped it to fucking 5 bits. Is that what happened? No, it's only... Never mind, it's free. The bit thing is what shows... It shows above, like, the thing. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry, I was misreading it. I do like that, like... I can see the countdown on it, actually on the button itself, so they updated that at some point, so that's nice. But yeah, I have those set out like a minute apart, because if it gets played too much, then YouTube dings it. Like, I had it played back-to-back once, and YouTube was like, oh, you're actually playing the song, fuck you. So, if that happens, I have to mute it, so I'm hoping that with a minute in between... That doesn't mean play it every minute, to be fair, but hopefully that, like, disincentivizes people from just spamming the fuck out of it. What are you working on right now? I've been rating these games on... First of all, let me get the music back going. But, I've been rating these games on my PSN profiles from all the way from the beginning. Here, if I scroll all the way down, I have had 13 different streams over the past several years where I have commented on my thoughts and ratings on every single one of these games from this list. Now, some of them are like, okay, I did this stack again. Like, here's the PS3 stack, here's the PS4 stack, here's the PS5 stack. You know. But otherwise, I've talked about every single one of these games in like a previous stream. And now we're on part 14, so this will be the one where it catches up. To be fair, I have caught up in the past. Like, I caught up on part 12, I caught up, and then I waited like a year to start doing more of these streams. Like, these last two streams of catching up essentially on like a year's worth of trophy hunting. At the behest of, partially at the behest of Rafiki, because he was asking about like my thoughts on like... I think he was looking more for like a tier list type of thing, but like I was mentioning that, like, yeah, I essentially kind of do these. And I am actually planning on doing like a tier list type of thing too for when I hit Platinum 500. Like an actual S rank, A rank, B rank, yada yada sort of shit. But yeah. Anyway, we're back up where I was before. Oh, you're asking if I'm... Okay, you're asking what I'm working on in terms of game. Sorry, my bad. I thought you were talking about like this stream. What I'm working on in terms of Platinum is, so we're trying to get up to 500, of course. Right now, Platinum 499 and 500 are going to be Black Ops 1, like it's already prepped. All I gotta do is unlock the trophy for place to work on the terminal. Literally, this takes you like 30, like from the main menu, this takes you probably like 15 seconds. So like if you have to load in the load times for starting the application, this takes like a minute to do, essentially. Because all you gotta do is like you break out of the chair, which you just spam R2, L2. A couple times you walk over to a computer, you type in the word Zork, and then like there you go. And so I'm specifically holding off on those Platinum so that they're 499, 500. We're so close to it though. I'm also trying to get up to total trophy 20,000. So like if you take away the 4 trophies I get from those, 36. I have a deficit of 36 trophies for 1 more Platinum. Most likely it's going to be Big Walk, but I have been playing Sam & Max Season 2, Beyond Space and Time. Off stream for like a bit, so if for some reason Big Walk wasn't the case, I would do that. It was gonna be Sam... First of all, it was gonna be Big Walk, but then we got stuck fucking having to do tech support for like 2 hours, so we never actually finished it. Hey! That's a raid. Anyway, Horizon, also, how you doing? It is me, I am the Orion. But how you doing, Tasman? Let's do a shout out to Tasman81. Welcome in. Danganronpa. Yeah, I've never actually played those. How are those? Also, how you doing? Welcome in. I'm Funny Orion Yatzel. I do PNG tuber stuff. There was like the Neko Arc inspired one just a second ago, and now I'm doing the Muppet one. And then let's see, we got like let's do the normal one for a bit here. The original, the one based on Jak and Daxter. There we are. Their sizes are a bit different, so I just gotta fuck with it every time I bring one of them out of the cryogenic freezer. I see, he's a little bit transparent on like this type of background. Like normally when I'm gaming, it doesn't look like this. Oh, sorry, that replayed the. See, every time I click on a new, why does it do that? For some reason, I'm gonna have to figure out why that does that. But for some reason, on the BRB starting soon screen, when I'm looking at the different scenes on OBS, it will replay certain audio cues. I'm not sure why that does that. But yeah, welcome in Tasman and Oki. Making esoteric musical references, and no one knows this is true. But yeah, mainly this is like a trophy hunting channel. Essentially, I've been going over the trophies, like games in which I have earned trophies from PlayStation on. Of course, I have almost 500 platinums, so it's been quite the doozy of games. Let me scroll through these games slowly, or well, at medium speed, we'll say, because we got a show to run here as I talk about it. But yeah, essentially, like over the past almost 20 years of gaming here on PlayStation. I don't only game on PlayStation, there's like a tiny bit I do on Steam, and I do have some like handheld consoles. I haven't really touched those too much in the past several years, but yeah, I mean, I played a bunch of like growing up Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS, PSP, also like an NES, N64, Wii, so I've done some of those as well. As well as, of course, PS2 has been like a main one, and so some of these PS2 games have like been re-released again, and so they've been added to this list of stuff, such as like say Toy Story 2, which was a PS1 game initially, and Toy Story 3, which was a PSP game. But yeah, just we've gone through all these in the past like various other streams I have saved to the YouTube. A lot of like the 13 other parts of the shit. And now we're on part 14, which is just about to reach the top section. We are pretty close to the end of the list finally, so that's nice. Anyway, yeah, mostly trophy hunt too. Make my platinum in 2 videos. Nice, that's cool. If you want, we can look at your profile here in a second. Oh, Has. Thank you for the follow, Oki. I appreciate it. There's so many games, oh my goodness. Thanks. Yeah, gaming's like my main hobby. Along with making music references. Not listening to music, just making the reference. No, I'm just kidding. Those are like the 2 main ones I enjoy. I enjoy listening to music, and I enjoy gaming. Which sucks when I stream, because usually I don't get to listen to music while I stream, unless it's just the in-game music. In this case, it's a little bit different, because if I were to like pause this music, right now I'm listening to Hat in Time OST. I try to do like video game OSTs when we're doing these things. One, because I like these OSTs, but I'm not only into just music from games, obviously, but for the reason that mainly YouTube is much more friendly about playing music from video games than they are about playing any sort of mainstream artist, for very obvious reasons. And so if I want the VOD to not be like nuked from orbit, I try to find various games that I think won't get dinged. So this one's been Hat in Time, which I love. I'm mainly like a platformer guy for the most part, but there's plenty of other. Like I like puzzle games, I like shooters, I like some RPGs. I've been trying to get a little bit more into rhythm games. I like some of that stuff. I like fighting games, even though I'm terrible at them. And yeah, some other genres here and there. Streamer streamed for 10 years, still make stream errors. No, I haven't streamed for 10 years. This account is over like 20 is what I was saying. You know what? You can learn to separate audio like I do. I don't care enough, Sam. Usually, because usually I'm playing a game. The only time it matters is literally in a stream like this where there's no audio, because otherwise, like, of course, which I've had some of the other streams like where before I was playing audio during these, and yeah, some of those I find that like it's lacking a bit annoying. Like I'm just using this as an example by having it turned off for like a couple minutes. I played Clair Obscur so you can listen to the OST on stream. That's a good reason to play a game, right? Yeah, absolutely. That's one thing. I don't know if I really cared too much about Clair Obscur, like the idea of it, but what I do like, any sort of music I've heard from the game, I really love. So like that is a game I would probably just listen to the OST for at some point, and that would be a way to like get me into the game. So Coach, why did it say streamed and not streamed if you don't mind? Oh yeah. He's just he's a bit of a what's the term for it? He's a bit of a chuckle fuck if you ever heard that term. Or otherwise, he's a bit of a goofy goober. That one he likes to play whimsical pranks slightly. Goad you into explanations of things when he knows that like he's just messing around. Huge young fuck chuckle. Did you ever finish E33 Sam is not banned? Let me catch up on a little. I think I missed a couple of chats here. Oh, PSN profile. Okay, yeah, we can open yours up. I can get to yours as soon as we're done with mine. We'll take a little gander. Nice. Hey, 69. Let's go. Take it away, Billy Madison.
69.
Anytime I get a chance to. Okay. I have 2 accounts, so I can give you my YouTube one. Oh, fair. Yeah, I know some people make multiple accounts for some of these. That's fair. Let me get back to playing the music, by the way, because it is like barren not hearing it. But yeah, this is the game A Hat in Time. This is a colorful cartoon like platforming game, 3D platformer. Very good, honestly. It even has some hard bits with it, with the Death Wish DLC, which is just like adds hard challenges to a bunch of different levels of the game, and the boss fights and such. But nice. Let's finish mine real quick here. This should probably take like a few more minutes, and then we'll be done. And then yeah, I can take a look at yours right after, sure. What do we got here? Where was I at? Was that Music Drive? Oh yeah, I was at the Monopoly Star Wars. That's what it was. Yeah, it's like a weird thing where you don't win by bankrupting the enemy. As you claim pieces around. Sorry, as you claim areas around the map, you get these influence points, and then every time you hit go, you have to do like a dice roll, like a skill check essentially, to win some influence points as well. And the game ends after you've gone around go enough time. Like every time you go around go, there's like a certain amount, like anywhere between 1 to 8 times of anyone going to go, and they're always in teams of like 2 or 3, which is weird. So like good guys and the bad guys, and so it's very odd. So it's just like this. You get this influence stat. It's cool. I do appreciate them trying to do something different with the Monopoly formula that has existed for like 5,000 years, of course. Doing something new is cool. Not really for me particularly. So like for me, it's like a 4 out of 10. Whereas like normal Monopoly would probably be like a 7 out of 10 for me. Maybe a little bit higher, like 7.5. But whatever. Batman Arkham City. The only thing different here is I finally decided to get the Game of the Year edition for PS3 again. I had sold it when I got the PS4 stacks, and I realized I missed one trophy I really wanted, which was Snap to It. Snap Flash to an unarmed thug, armed thug, environmental object, and a Titan. This is a very, very easy trophy. It's just one you have to go out of your way for. Specifically, I think for the Titan, because the other ones I believe you just do naturally anyway. But I didn't, because there's only one Titan during the entire DLC. But I finally did that. Eventually, someday, I'm sure I'll work up the courage to do the other DLC packs, even though they take forever and they're really fucking not worth it, and all the other characters control like ass outside of Batman. So, probably like that. Ooh. First of all, well, I guess I can't give you VIP. Oh, wait, oh, no, never mind. I see you were paying Sam and then you redeemed VIP. It's because life happened in ADHD, so. Tisk. to collect $200? You don't, but I'll tell you who collects something. Horizon. The VIP, for those that are unaware, because it doesn't show up in the Twitch VOD as like a separate message, which I think is weird that Twitch doesn't do that for EO redeems, but whatever, you know, I'm not the CEO of Twitch who's adding in AI features that their community members have to fucking turn off. But what that means is, first of all, the price of it in the VIP goes up by 1 point every time someone does it. But they get the VIP badge. But what is the consequence of this? Well, of course, it means that the previous person that used it gets it stolen from them. So in this case, it's... Oh hey, it's Coach Sam Chang. Shout out to the Horizons Call for getting... There we go, there you are. Yet again, I'm happy when you people have profile pictures. It's very cool. It makes it very easy for me to find when I'm like trying to type in the name. It's like, oh, I don't have to waste my time typing the whole name, because as soon as I type in enough, I see funny picture of funny person, and I'm like, there you are. Good. You can set up redeem alerts and VODs if you set it mix up like I told you. The thing is, I wouldn't want them. So here's the thing. I wouldn't really want them to show up. The only one I would want to show up is like, it just says redeemed VIP. That's honestly, the VIP is the only one I would actually care enough to do, because there's no like audio indication. And thing number 2 would be that it gives me time to actually, this is the more important thing, is that it gives me time to talk about what the redeem is, so I can actually pull up the tabs. I don't have the tabs open because not every stream someone uses it. I don't need to automate it. I don't need to automate it. It's a lot of... It gives me time to like do shit, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Especially because then I would have to find a way to do it in such a way, like... Because sometimes, some of you people, Sam, will redeem it when you already have it. Not all the time, but you've done it a couple times. And then it's like, well then that would fuck the whole system, because then if I'm not doing it, like, myself, then I gotta, you know, go in and... You know what I mean, don't do this, there's people here. You motherfucker. Anyway, back to stream stuff. Yeah, so I'm not gonna rate Opium City because I already rated him in the previous streams. Likewise, we already talked about Sleeping Dogs. I will rate Black Ops though, because although I have rated it in the past, and I think honestly it's like a 10 out of 10 game for me. It's honestly one of my favorite games of all time. It's probably like second or third. Well, it's definitely top 5 games of all time. It might be second place, it might be third, it's like somewhere around there. Because although, so Black Ops 2 for example, has really good multiplayer and zombies, Black Ops 1 has really good multiplayer and zombies, but where they differ is that the story mode in Black Ops 1 is like way better than Black Ops 2, by like a mile. So, there are a couple fuck you sections in the Veteran, to be fair, in Black Ops 1. For those that just joined in, I'm holding off on platinuming Black Ops 1 twice here, because these are going to be platinums 499 and 500, so we just need one more platinum, and then I can finally make like a big stream of like, here's the big 500 platinum stream, and then I'll do like I have a tier list maker of actually all the platinums separately, so I can like rate them by like S, A, B, C, D, F tier, along with a couple of other tiers I have. Like there's an AI slop tier for like the free AI games that come out, like this Etchy Crush thing that comes out. Luckily there's not too many of those games I played, but every now and again PlayStation drops like a free game, I'm like, cool, whatever. Also redeem all my channel. Wait, you're just gonna keep advertising on my channel, Sam? Is that what's happening? Is advertisement time? Look, I'll do some mix-up stuff eventually, alright? It'll eventually happen. Anyway, to talk about Black Ops 1 real quick, though. Because I've talked about it before, but like now that I'm more intimately aware of specifically the zombies, because I had forgotten about a bunch of the zombie stuff. I can mention just a couple of extra things about the zombie stuff. Everything in Ascension's very easy. Everything in Call of the Dead is pretty easy, although it does suck getting like bad RNG for, say, the Scavenger or the VR11. The Scavenger one sucks solo, by the way. I tried it like fucking 6 different times solo. I understand what you're supposed to do, but the one they listed by like you down the enemies over by the lighthouse and then you run over to the spawn, I don't find that one to be particularly useful for the reason that the enemies have to jump over this like railing, and they're very bad about like there's like a weird there's like an invisible wall on that railing that I feel like stops the damage going through, and so it's not great. But if you wait too long, especially because the crawlers have like different speeds, if you wait too long, I think they'll end up in the water and then they freeze to death. So instead, I think a better one would be run up to the top of the lighthouse. But either way, this is just way better with co-op. It's so easy with co-op. Shangri-La still sucks, but I'll talk about why that sucks in a minute. Moon has some like this excavators just suck on Moon, honestly. Like the fact that you have to let the biodome break every fucking time you want to do something, whether it's the Easter egg or whether it's the one giant leap becoming trapped in the receiving area, is just so irritating. The only one you can prevent it for is this, and even when you prevent it from this one, where you prevent each excavator once, it gets hit again anyway, so you just have to fucking let it go down. It's such a fucking pain in the ass. Like, other than that, everything else I love about Moon. Moon's great. There are some like minor annoyances with like the ball, for example, getting stuck by the pyramid and not going in properly. That's like janky as hell. But the real janky one is Shangri-La. Now that I actually know the steps to Shangri-La's Easter egg for like the first time ever, I feel like, because even when I did it back in the day on PS3, I feel like I didn't. Shangri-La sucks. Like the fact that you have to go back to hit those buttons every single step is horrible. The fact that you even need all 4 players is like annoying in and of itself, but the fact that it had to be timed and hit, and then you have to like people have to figure out what their timing differences is depending on like how far away in the world. So like Australians, for example, that I was playing with, had to hit it when when I'm doing 3, 2, 1, go. You have to hit it on 1 because of the way the timing's off. Waiting for like the shrink ray to come in the box is like annoying. Waiting for the fire zombie. Even just maneuvering the fire zombie around is annoying. Maneuvering around the zombies to hit the buttons every time is annoying. The fact that it's not very friendly to new players at all with the things on the ground. At first, like you're not doing this with randoms unless they know to go and hit the buttons, and that's like the most frustrating part. Whereas most of these you can kind of do like partially on your own, or you can get them to help a little bit. But like if people don't know what they're doing at all, you will never do Shangri-La Easter egg. And that is just, like, really fucking annoying and stupid. The Shrieker thing's very easy, and actually once you get the Shrink zombie, or the Shrink gun, it's very easy to do the zombie kills with that, so. But otherwise, I love the game. Yeah, that's a bad one. What? What are you people doing? Why are we... I'm not timing out the... Okay, you know, I'm gonna refund those. I'm gonna refund all of them except for the one where you two time out each other. I think, right? I assume Sam did one where he times out Red? Oh, no, he didn't. Okay, well, we'll time out Sam. I'll let you keep the timeout Sam one, but I'm definitely refunding the rest of them. That's too many timeouts at once. Like, come on now. This is a stream where, like, I only have one monitor, so I have to click back constantly. Yeah, you know, I'll accept those two. Anyway, how you doing, Red? See you, Red. I'm not timing out people that just came in from fucking raid. Like, come on now. This gotta be a little bit better than that. Anyway, I'll refund the others. So, like, come on now. But yeah, I only have one. Like, I don't have monitors. This is a laptop, so like, I don't have enough room to. So I can't see all that happening in chat. I have to click between the screen where I can see all the fucking trophy shit, and then click back to the screen where I can see the chat every time. So like, I can look at the screen no problem when I'm playing games on my console because I play on TV, so that's like fine. But like when I do these type of streams, I don't have like multiple screens I can look at, so like I can't see you doing a clusterfuck of timeouts. But anyway, you know what you did. Alright. Anyway, that's Black Ops. We got a few more games, then we'll finally be caught up, which will be nice. Dead Island 2. I played this because it was leaving extra, and I'd always wanted to play it, but it took forever to come out, and then when it came out, I was just kind of like busy with other shit at the time. I like this game a lot. The story's bad, in terms of like, the writing's purposely schlocky, which is fine, because that's mostly true about Dead Island 1 as well, but it's a little bit more obnoxious than Dead Island 2, but I don't think it's too much more. The story, though, just like really abruptly ends, and that's really strange. And I find that our characters are just willing to join people that seem like they're obvious bad guys all the time, and not like in a emotionally compelling way, but just kind of like goes along with it. It's like vibes along with it, which is really weird. That's especially true with the DLCs, I find. Because like the fucking house, like these people are just like torturing people and shit. And we're just like, oh yeah, sure, we'll help you with your weird AI, like memory bank thing that you're doing or whatever. Or like the concert one, it's like, yeah, I know the beat just killed everyone, but yeah, sure, let's help out with it. Other than that, though, like the game's, in terms of like gameplay, the game's a lot of fun. I like when you hit a bunch of zombies in different parts, and like, so like, there's one part in particular where I hit a zombie in the fucking jaw with like a pipe, not pipe wrench. What was it? Maybe it was a pipe wrench. No, it was a crowbar. Never mind, it was a crowbar, that's what it was. It's not important. Anyway, the point being that like I hit him in the jaw and then he grabbed me. And then part of his jaw was like hanging off as he's like trying to bite me. And it's like, that's cool as shit. There's so many like cool things with that. But yeah, it's pretty dope. For sure. And I liked, I mean, the different variety of weapons and the different things that they do. Obviously in the previous game you also had like things like, oh, this is blunt weapon versus a sharp, this is bleed versus poison versus, which is caustic in this game, versus electricity versus fire. Those all existed. Here's like the guns, you know, the rifle, the shotgun, the pistol. So those are all like previous game shit. But there's a little bit of a difference between like here's a maiming gun versus like here's a frenzy gun. Sorry, not gun, dumbass. Here's a frenzy weapon versus like a maiming weapon versus like, so there's different tiers of like blunt versus sharp weapons too, which is neat. There's a lot of different zombies. Like each, first of all, there's just a lot of different types of zombies anyway. But even within the types of zombies, there's different variants of it based on where you are in the map. So like some of them will be dressed up like at the beach. Some of them will be like more dressed up as like, you know, like maybe it's like a service worker. Maybe it's like a dressed up in military gear. Or maybe it's like, you know, they're a cop or a firefighter or whatever, and like or a scientist. And it's like there's a bunch of cool like variants of that. And what friend of the stream Horizon mentioned before was that they actually got a bunch of people from LA to mocap like a bunch of different zombies, and you can tell there's like a huge variety in how they look too, which is very neat. Like hairstyles, and obviously I mentioned outfits and such, facial structures, yada yada. The game really, I think the game is a little weird in the beginning when it's like, it feels all just like we're just in the hills the whole time. Like here's Beverly Hills and here's like Bel Air, and it just kind of feels like a little samey. But I feel like it opens up once you get like to the other hotel spot, and especially like Venice Beach and whatever the other fucking spots are. I want to say Ocean Avenue, but like it's not called Ocean Avenue in the game. It's on Ocean Avenue, where I used to sit and talk with you. There we go. Anyway, that's another reference for you. Ooh, we're almost, like I said before, we're almost up to the big 777. But, what do we got? Yeah, Hollywood Boulevard, stuff like that. But, yeah, they're really cool. I like the different type of weapons. The modding was, I held off on the modding for most of the game, which I didn't have to, I guess, but, you know. It just didn't feel right to mod weapons that weren't, like, the unique weapons, or, like, even particularly good weapons. Like, I didn't want to mod, like, green weapons, knowing that, like, eventually there's blue weapons, so I'm just not gonna waste my time with that. Or, like, when we got to the blue weapons, and it's like, oh, well, there's purple weapons, and then I started finally modding some of the purple weapons, of course. The game definitely improves the fact that, like, you can't lose your items, like Dead Island 1. I was so... There's a sword called Zed's Demide in Dead Island 1. A fucking amazing, shocking sword. You, like, slice a zombie once, and it would just, like, fry in place, and it was, like, so fucking OP. And one time I threw the sword at, like, an exploder? Or, sorry, not exploder. It's called a burster in this game, but it was called a suicider in Dead Island 1. But, the thing was too close to me, so it killed me. And then by the time I tried to get it back up to the body, the weapon like despawned from the world, and so I had no chance to get it. Whereas in this game, if you throw any item whatsoever, it gets put in your unclaimed property tab, and so you can pick it up from any weapon locker. And there's actually a way where you can farm some weapons that you don't want to get rid of. You just like throw a weapon on the ground, just run away from it, and it's actually pretty nice. But specifically the fact that you can't scrap unique items and you can't lose them like that if you don't like throw them and such, and so that's very neat. Definitely a huge improvement, I thought. And also the fact that Suiciders don't one-tap you anymore is a huge improvement too, because there were some like cheap-ass spots for like Suiciders, like in the original Dead Island one. There's a couple cheap things in Dead Island 2 sometimes. There's like one particular one I'm thinking of in Sola, where you get fucking surrounded by like 3 of these mutators for like the side quest thing. Now you didn't have to necessarily do the side quest, but I did every quest in the game. Yeah, I did a good chunk of like the points of interest and like the safes and such, but I didn't do like every single one of those. But I did every single quest in the game. And yeah, that one was a bit of a fuck you, to be honest. But yeah, I liked the jump kick, like the drop kick was fucking amazing in this game. And one thing I really liked was the throwables. The fact that they had infinite uses was very, very nice. Because it felt like it gave you something to, like it was just the various effects of them, obviously, like, it's just nice crowd control. Because there would be a bunch of weak zombies, and it's like, okay, well, if I just throw a frag grenade in here, like, and it just blows up immediately. I would at least clear a spot for me to like run to safety or something, or maybe I've like stunned a big zombie depending on what it is, or maybe I lit one on fire, or maybe I poisoned one, or you know, like whatever, right? And you could use the bait ones too. I didn't really use the bait one too much, but like that could be useful too. So like there's some cool shit with that. The online was a bit buggy, so that was annoying for like the revival of Slayers 5 times, and especially for the complete any 5 quests. There's multiple times where I would be with a group trying to complete a quest. Like, I tried to complete the same quest like 3 fucking times, and it just wouldn't let me complete it. Because it would just kick me out of the game after a while, and it wasn't the people kicking me out of the game, it was just like, we'd be moving, and then all of a sudden, like, it would just drop connection, which was annoying. So that's not the best, but like, whatever. Otherwise, yeah, it's pretty cool. I do like that, like, for these, you just had to finish the first tier of every challenge, not, like, finish every challenge, because some of the challenges were would have been a little absurd having to do the full set, but it is, like, giving you a taste of all the challenges, and so, a couple of the challenges there was only one tier of anyway, so you had to do them all, like, the $1 million to be the millionaire thing. The only other thing I don't like... Okay, so New Game Plus. Some of the Revenants were just, like... We just made them really spongy, like it didn't really feel like we increased the difficulty in the way that like there's different variants of enemies, right? So like there's a Screamer, for example, that spawns enemies around you. But then also there's the Electric Screamer, and that, you know, that's like a way to make the enemy harder without making it just a bullet sponge, you know what I mean? Like it adds like, you're getting shocked if you get too close, so you have to deal with like another way, or like... Even as much as the whip zombie was like annoying in So LA, I like Collar. What's the other one called? It's not the Clotter, because that's a big one. I'm trying to think what the other one called, the one that has like the whip arm. But with that one, it's like, okay, it stops you from being able to go into like the rage mode. And okay, that's cool. That's a unique way to not just like farm the same attacks over and over again. So you got to stay, keep your distance if you can and shoot it to death. Or like use some throwables or something, or like really just get in there with some melee thing and like really fuck it up and maim its arm. And so there's like cool ways to make difficulty without just making it like a sponge. And unfortunately with New Game Plus, the Revenants are just like, a good chunk of them are just really spongy. Especially like there's some really bullshit one in the very last one I did, actually, which I did on stream like a few streams ago. The stream might actually still be... Yeah, the stream is still alive, that one, actually, because that's when I got the trophy. It was on the 12th. But, like, the stream was the 11th, though, but it went into the 12th. But yeah, I did that with friend of the stream, Horizon, and some random person that was in the lobby with us. But it was like a mutator that just had, like, fucking insane amount of health. And the only reason we were able to beat it was because because online, as long as one person stayed alive, the thing didn't get its health back. So as long as like one person was kind of just running around, it didn't feel like. It felt like the mechanics of a Destiny raid, but without like any of the fun of like the. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's just like okay, we're just like slowly whittling down the health of something, and there's like not new phases of the fight. There's not like cool mechanics of the fight. It's just like the same fights you've done before, but it's just like this just takes longer for no fucking reason. So okay, essentially with all that in mind, what would I give Dead Island 2? I don't remember what I gave the other Dead Islands, but I do think Dead Island 2 overall is better than Dead Island 1 and Riptide for sure. Riptide's probably the look. So the list in which I would rate them, because I've never played Dead Island Retro or whatever. I never played Dead Island Retro Revenge, but I have done PS3 and PS4 stacks of Dead Island 1 and Riptide, and I did Escape Dead Island, and I did both stacks of Dead Island 2. I mean, this one auto-pops, to be fair, but, like, I did this full stack, obviously, of the PS4 version. But, bottom of the list is Escape Dead Island, even though I think it's visually the coolest. The gameplay is just awful, which is, like, pretty much the only reason you're playing Dead Island. Because there's never been, like, a strong point story-wise. Riptide is a good amount above that. Dead Island's above that. And then Dead Island 2 is above that. So I think it's better than Dead Island 1. But there are some frustrations I have with it, so I'd probably say like an 8. I know there's a lot of games I played that I'm like, oh, here's a 7 or here's an 8, but like... There's not like a bunch of, like... I tend not to try a bunch of games if I think they're going to be shit. Like, I have enough games that I'm pretty sure I'm going to like, that when I try them, and it's like, oh, hey, I enjoy this. That I don't feel like I need to go through games that I think, oh, this will be fucking awful. Or this will be just mid. Like, I don't really want to play a game going into it thinking, like, oh, this is just going to be just like a mid-whatever experience. Neva. Okay, so we're almost to the top, finally. Neva. Okay, this is just a better Grease, the previous game from this developer. Honestly. There's more combat in this, so if you're just more into, like, the platforming aspect, you want to play Grease instead. Visually gorgeous. Gorgeous. Stunning. Beautiful. Whatever words you want to use for it. Same thing with Grease. But yeah, the extra added combat. I said the added extra the extra combat really adds to it. And the story's cool. A little bit less esoteric, I guess, than the previous game to an extent. Like, you didn't need, like, the collect all the secrets to see the secret ending, which this game did have a secret ending like that, but, like, the story made sense even without that. Whereas the other one was kind of more just, like, theory crafting, I feel like. The extra prologue was cool with this, too. It added some, like, cool new puzzles, and that's the thing, too. There's, like, cool puzzles in this game, but yeah, the prologue added in more aspects of it that weren't in the base game, which was nice. Even though there's no trophies for it, it was still cool as fuck. This is like a 9 out of 10 for me. It helps that it's very, very cheap, too. Especially when I got it. Like, maybe at full price it'd be, like, a little bit lower. But, I don't know, man. It's just good. Go play it. I'm a sucker for vibrant colors, so... that was always going to rate high for me. Big Walk. This is probably going to be Platinum 498, I would assume. Unless I really kick my ass into gear for Sam Max. Fantastic game. Really cool concept. I like that when we're playing with it. This is better with more people. I feel like anywhere between... I think 4 would be like the minimum that I think is good. Probably up to about like 8. I think 12 would be a little bit too hectic, and 2 is kind of like just too little. The game does scale. It does scale based on how many people you have, but still, like, it's kind of like whatever. I'd say 4 to 6 is what we had for the most part. Yeah, about like 6 people we had for the most part when we were playing, and I think it was pretty good. I liked that when we were playing, we would split up into different groups often, just partially through sometimes because we wanted to do this thing or that thing, but also due to the fact that Red Allistic here redeemed VIP, of course. So, you know, goodbye Horizon's Call. You get to lose VIP for now. But also due to the fact that this happenstance. Sometimes, you know, you happen to miss a jump or something, or like, you know, you lost sight of someone for a second, now you're off doing another puzzle. But the fact that, like, all these different puzzles, the fact that they change every time you, like, leave the room, like, the game is very well set on not being able to, like, you can't cheat your way through it. for the most part. I mean, you could technically, like, with like a second controller or something, whatever. But most of the puzzles you have to, like, you just gotta do it, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta figure out, like, what the actual mechanic is that it's trying to tell you. And there's a lot of really cool ideas of puzzles and shit. Like, I very much enjoy it. But yeah, for sure. I would probably rate... So, like, I don't have the platinum in this yet, but we've essentially done everything here. We only have, like, 6 more of these, what we've been calling babies. There's 6 more of these, like, things you gotta collect, and then we're done, essentially. I feel pretty confident in giving this. Here's the thing, I don't know what the price is of this game, because this was given to us for free for PlayStation Essential. I don't know what this game normally reads. Actually, I guess I do, because it's like 20 bucks, right, on Steam, so it probably is 20 bucks. Honestly, for that price and for the fun, like, as long as you can get a group together, which I know can be hard sometimes, obviously. This game's fucking awesome. Like, this is easily, like, I guess a 9 out of 10. I do like the aspect of if you leave and come back. Like, if you reset up the world, it respawns all the items to their natural placement. It spawns all the items you had on hand, like on your back and backpack and in your hand, actually, like by the spawn point. You can like tackle it mostly in any order after you do the first section. Sometimes it's a bit too dark in the nighttime. I know, like, it should be hard to navigate, but it's like fucking impossible sometimes in there. Is there anything else really? This is one of those games it's better to go in blind and like just absolutely not know anything. It's a lot more fun that way. But always go in groups. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, probably 9 out of 10. And that'll probably be Platinum 498. Next up is Sam & Max. So we got Beyond Space and Time and we got Save the World. Or sorry, Save the World. This was very funny. Like I had not really known much about this game, then I heard a little bit about it and I was like, oh, it's just some cartoon whatever thing. There's a lot more like adult humor aspect than I thought it would be. Like, these characters are and it's really weird too, because like these characters do a bunch of like what would you call it? A bunch of like pop culture references, which I wasn't expecting. Like, it would just be like names of actual like, real life people. Like, oh, there's just a random actor's name thrown in, or like there's like a brand name or something, which I feel like most games would be like, we can't mention anything like that, we just gotta allude to it. So it's like weird that they did this. But yeah, I like how like psychotic Max is all the time and how flippant they both can often be, Sam and Max. And just like the random paranoid fucking shop owner, Bosco, and the person changing her, he starts off as, I think, a psychiatrist in the first one, if I'm not mistaken. But like she changes her job description like every gameplay thing, and I like that it builds off of like the main areas, and you know, in terms of like it's the same area usually per level, where like you got the office, but then you have like a new area every time. Like here's like the TV set, and here's like the moon, and here's some other stuff. The White House one was wacky. Like there's a bunch of cool shit with it. Yeah, I laughed quite a bit playing this game, a lot more than I thought I would. So this game rates like really high for me. Like, this is probably like a 9 out of 10 for Sam & Max, the first one. The second one might rate a little bit lower, because I will say, I don't know for sure, but I'm only 2 episodes in so far, and I will say the second episode, a bunch of the puzzles, I just didn't know what the game was trying to get me to do, like, at all. So I had to look up some solutions, which is a little bit annoying. I only had to do that one time in Sam & Max 1, on the VR, like, text thing. Otherwise, it was pretty well set in. But yeah, that's how I feel about Sam & Max. More than likely, I've already talked about Black Ops, which I already have locked in, so more than likely, if for some reason Sam & Max 2 is like, is Platinum 500, I'll talk about it on Platinum 500 stream. And so, you know, if you want my opinions on that, then I could do that for sure. I'll probably talk about it anyway, even if it's not Platinum 500, because I assume After this, I'm going to be playing episode 3. I don't know if I'll finish it today, but I'll be playing a bit of it. I just don't think I'll do all 5 episodes, but yeah, so if you want to see my opinion specifically on Sam Max Beyond Time and Space, there's that. Or maybe next, like maybe when I eventually get to Sam Max 3, which is, what is it, Devil's Playhouse or something? Yeah, the Devil's Playhouse, which is Season 3, which I do own. We can maybe get my opinion on that. On whenever I do the next, like, Rating Platinum stream, I could always, like, slot that in that way. But yeah, we're caught up, and look at that, we're at 91.91 completion, 91.91, nice. It was at 92 before I started Sam Max. Like, 92 just even, so... we'll get it back eventually. Alright, so that's the end of that. So I think for the, YouTube you know, fuck it, we'll just include it on the YouTube portion. I did promise I would do this, so yeah, it's not a big deal. This is the other person that came in earlier that rated in. Let's see what they did. Comparing to some other ones, I will say I'm not privy to Persona as like a series. Same thing with Danganronpa, so I don't know what they're like gameplay-wise, like generally speaking. Like I know this is like an RPG, obviously, Persona, but I haven't seen too much of the games. So I think it's cool that you did that, for sure. I don't know. Unfortunately, I can't really comment too much on it just because I don't know the series enough to... The character looks cool, though. I've definitely seen the characters in, like, some, like, just general cultural osmosis shit. Never... You know, I'm kind of curious what a Demon Slayer game would be like, because I've never... Is this, like, a fighting game? This is a fighting game, I wonder... I did see Maximilian Dude, the YouTuber, review like supers from a Demon Slayer game. So if it's this game, you know, I would be actually willing to try this game. Because as much as I'm bad at fighting games, I do fuck with like this. It looked like kind of like a Naruto Ultimate Ninja type of fighting game, if this is the same game. And it looked cool as shit in that sort of aspect. So I'd be willing to do this. I do very much enjoy the Demon Slayer series. I haven't seen the newest movie, which came out like a year ago or something, but I do enjoy that. No cursing. Coach Sam Chang redeems no cursing for, what is that? Is that like 15 minutes or something? 10 minutes? What is it? Don't tell me I did it for 5 minutes, because that'd be lame. Okay, 10 minutes. Okay, we can do 10 minutes, yeah. So, it's like 3:11 right now, so until 3:21, we could do that. But yeah, I'd be very excited to try Demon Slayer. It seems, if that's the type of game I think it is. You know, anime fighting games seem to slap. And, like, they seem pretty good, so I can respect that. I feel like I know someone who's played this game. This feels like a game Devin would have played, or something. AI... What's the Minion files? I don't know anything about... No, maybe not. Something about the Somium files. Just the names, the Somium files, seems like I've heard it somewhere, and I don't know where. Life is Strange, of course. We actually talked a little bit about that earlier when I was talking about double exposure and, more importantly, specifically, Reunion, which I've done. But, like, if I were to go into my own, for example. If I were to go into my own for but a moment, and then we'll return post-haste. Of course, if I can find out where I did it, that would be Super and Duper in that order. Where is Max and Chloe? Dude, am I insane? Do I keep scrolling past it? Like, am I just, like... There it is. Oh, you want to know why? Because, like, the orange of it kind of meshes in with Twisted Metal one. That's what the problem is. But yeah, I've played through the Life is Strange games, of course. So, I like Life is Strange 1. I think the writing's terrible on it, but, like, in terms of, like, gameplay, I think it's fun. I respect... So you've only done episode 1, which makes me think... What is this? Okay, oh, this is a PS4 I was gonna say, if this is a PS3 version, that makes sense, because it's like the free PS... Okay, so you did like episode 1, and you're like, the game's not for me. Or maybe just never got back around to it, that's fair. Double exposure, played a little bit of that. Also did episode 1. I think this game is... There's some issues I have with it, but I think it's better written. But I think it's the worst written one from the developer Deck 9, who does every game after Life is Strange 1 and 2. I think they might have also done Before the Storm. I forget if Before the Storm came out before or after Life is Strange 2. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Dude, 7 Remake's great. I haven't played any other Final Fantasy games, so like I can't compare it to the other ones. I beat the whole game on my end, but I never beat it on hard mode, and I couldn't steal an enemy skill because there's like a certain fight you have to do on the hard mode version, even if you're not playing on hard mode, and it was a skill issue thing. I just couldn't do it. But maybe someday I can go back and like level grind and do it or something. That's a fun game. Obviously, I didn't get too far into it, but that's fair. Sometimes games don't click with people. There's definitely some games I played where I'm like, this game isn't for me. Like Tekken, one of the Tekken games was like that. Tekken, what was it, Tag Team or something? I forget the exact name, but it's like one of those. Where I played like, I feel like 30 minutes of it, or maybe even less, and I was like, you know what? Never mind. Never mind, I'm tapping out, man. Doki Doki's a great game. I think it's lame that PlayStation censored the blood aspect of it. Other than that, I don't really have a problem with it. The thing is, when I initially, I had seen a whole playthrough of this game before I actually did it myself, so like when I actually played it, I mainly just like rushed through it for trophies, because I had already experienced the whole narrative aspect of it. Dispatch seems cool. That's the, yes, okay, yeah. I am definitely down bad for, there's like a tomboy character here somewhere. And, yeah, absolutely. But, I haven't played it yet, but I definitely want to. It's definitely on the GameFly list. I use GameFly, which is a game rental service, if anyone remembers that series, or that, what do you call it, that company, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Okay, and the second Demon Slayer. Yeah, I think this is the fighting game series I was thinking of. I actually wouldn't mind trying these. They seem cool. Maybe I'll see if I can put the... I wonder, when was the release date of these? 2025. Ooh, that's like recent. The first one was what? 2021. I wonder if GameFly still has one of these on, like, in stock. I should check afterwards here. Like it? Who starts with Like a Dragon Gaiden as your first? You had this. Okay, never mind. You said there was 2. So this must be just the second, this must be just the trophy hunting one. You know what? That's fair. That's 100% fair. I respect that. I was going to say, if you started with Gaiden, that's insane. But no. I assume you've played probably at least, Like a Dragon. It is a technical foul. That isn't... Okay, hold on. The music stopped. I'm sure the music's trying to tell me, like, hey, the video paused. You want to keep playing? And it's like, yeah, actually. Also, why would the... Okay, we're gonna go back to complaining about YouTube. YouTube, why would you stop the thing and ask me if I want to keep playing when it's like 6 seconds away from finishing the video? At least finish the video and then ask me at the next video. We have to keep streaming at least until the very next song plays. The very next song is absolutely peak from Hat in Time. 100%. Luckily, it'll take us a bit more to get through this list anyway. I still need to play Like Dragon Gaiden. I have done 100% completion of Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2, Yakuza 3 Remastered, Yakuza 4 Remastered, which was actually my 200th Platinum, and also my 10,000 total trophy, too. As can be told by this stuff over here. Platinum 125 was, I almost said the other word there instead of stuff, but I fixed it. Yakuza 0 was obviously 125, and then Platinum 10,000 was also, sorry, Platinum 200 was also total trophy 10,000. Which is what we're trying to repeat here with Platinum 500 being total trophy 20,000. So that's cool. But yeah, in terms of Yakuza, yep. Yakuza 3 Remastered, Yakuza 4 Remastered, Yakuza 5 Remastered. 6 didn't have a remaster, obviously, because it just came out. And then Like a Dragon I did at the beginning of this year. I was trying to do it before Man Who Erased His Name left PlayStation Premium. Or sorry, PlayStation Extra. Yeah, this is like this song right here is the boss fight that plays when or the song that plays when you fight Snatcher in Hat in Time. One of the best songs in the soundtrack by far, and it's not even close. I think I like Death Wish a little bit more, which is actually the raid. When you came in, if you heard it, the raid music, the video portion of it, like the visual was Yakuza 0, but the actual music itself was the Death Wish song. The Death Wish song. the Death Wish song from Hat in Time. Yeah, I'm never gonna do Yakuza Kiwami 3 though, that's lame. A lot of lame things about that game, but yeah, I eventually plan on playing this game. In terms of the, Like a Dragon Gaiden. I do own it now, finally, because I did buy it when it went on sale. It does suck that there's no physical copy of the game, except for, like, some weird... It only came out in Asia for some reason. And not even, like, Japan. It's, like, specifically... I mean, maybe it also came out in Japan, but it was, like, some, like... I don't remember. But it's, like, not really just available... It's, like, 1 or 2 specific websites you can get it from. It's really weird. We definitely cut off a word I was about to say there accidentally. We're keeping it family friendly here for a few more minutes. Life is Strange Remastered. Oh, okay, so then you went back and did the full Life is Strange. Yeah, I was talking about this earlier. I do want to go and do the remastered versions of these specifically. Before the Storm, the Chloe Power thing with Before the Storm is a little cheesy. And I feel that way about Life is Strange 1 as a whole, to be fair. Like, they're both a little cheesy, but, like, I do like them. Not the best written, but it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of, like, good emotional beats of characters, at least. The series seems to get pretty right about that. That's one thing that is a little bit lacking in the newer games, even though they're written better, is that it feels like a better emotional core with some of the stuff. I think Reunion was heading in the right direction of that more, maybe even is better than one's aspect of that, but I don't know, man. Chloe and Max are just awful people in Life is Strange 1, honestly, too. That doesn't, like, they're both awful in their different ways. Max is like a serial ghoster all the time, and Chloe is just like victim blames everyone. But yeah, I mentioned earlier, I don't know anything about Danganronpa, but the art style seems neat. I know it's like some murder plot thing or something. That seems like could be kind of cool. I didn't know there's like a leveling system with it though. Breakthrough level 99. Maybe this isn't a leveling system, maybe this is just like... Maybe that's just like... Actually, it probably is. I was gonna say maybe it's like some sort of like mini-game where there's levels in it, but I don't know. And then Bleach. What is this like a... Okay, is this a fighting game too? I haven't seen any gameplay of the Bleach fighting game. Interesting. Max player level. Oh, there's a player level? That's kind of gross. I played the My Hero Academia, not My Hero Academia. Why did I say that? The One Punch Man game, and that had some leveling stuff, and that I felt like it was a bit excessive, but otherwise I thought it was a pretty good recreation of Season 1. But it includes like an OC character who's just like around the whole time, who just gets beat up until Saitama comes in and just one-taps everything. I wonder what a Bleach game would be like. I've never actually seen Bleach, except for, like, I think I've seen maybe, like, parts of an episode when they show up on Toonami sometimes. Like, if I was watching something else, actually, and they just happened to be on. I don't have anything against Bleach. I would be interested, though, in how a game like that would run. That's cool, though. So yeah, I assume the idea is that this is, like, this is the trophy hunting, because the person when they came in had said that that they had 2 accounts. So if I understand that correctly, that's 2 PlayStation accounts, unless I misunderstood that. But that would make sense to, like, hey, here's my trophy hunting account, and this other one is like the, especially because it's more recent. And then the other one's just like the probably account they've had since, like, you know, however long back, and just play anything sort of account. Personally, I don't do that, but that's understandable. I mean, not everyone's... The thing is, it works with me because I own most of the games I've played, so, like, I actually have a good chance of... So, like, my completion... Like, if I were to sort by things not 100%ed, right? It's a pretty short list compared to that massive list I had before. But, like, some of these are just, like... Okay, Uncharted I could do. Little Big Planet I can't do because it has, unobtainables. This is, a thing called PSNP Plus, by the way. This is, like, a extension you can have in that lets you see various things, but I find that the two most useful things for this are being able to see what trophies are unobtainable for whatever reason, which is usually because an online server shut down. Move. I don't even have a move controller, so this whole thing I wouldn't be able to do anyway. What a shame. And some of these, like, I don't even know, like, I might technically still have, like, the Rock Band controllers and such, but, like, who knows. This is still obtainable? By the way, Green Day is my favorite band, by the way, and it's mainly because I played this and found out that so many songs that I actually already liked were from Green Day, because I would hear them on the radio all the time. I played this one time on freshman year, like, in freshman year when I was sick, like, during a weekend. I had an extended weekend, so, like, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I played nothing but Green Day Rock Band, and it was like, alright, cool. Max Payne 3 is just really hard, plus there's online trophies. God of War, I thought I found every single magic chest. I did not. Or sorry, like chest that would give me some stuff like that. So like I ended up missing out on like a Phoenix Eye somewhere or whatever. What is it? Phoenix Feather and then like some sort of Eye of Gorgon. I forget the exact collectibles in the game, but like essentially doing a blind run, I thought I checked everything, but I didn't, so I ended up not getting that. So now I'm the person seeing red because I'm angry. Big Angie. And then I never did these ones, but maybe someday. The only God of War game I have platinumed is Ascension, and I would like to go back and do some of these. 3 I just did like normal play through the game, didn't get everything. Gorgon Eye and Phoenix Feather. There we go, thank you. Also Minotaur Horn, which I think is only God of War 3. Tekken, oh, that was the Tekken Tag game I was talking about earlier. I played this for like 2 seconds, and I was like, no, I'm good, actually. Yeah, most of these are rhythm games. I don't even have the deck for the DJ game anymore, so most of this is impossible to do now. I didn't like that game. Yeah, so some of these I don't like, but a lot of these, like, if you were to count, okay, let's just count the ones I actually have any sort of inkling of going back and finishing. Sam Mac, yes, 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 maybe, yes, but I don't know if I'm gonna get the DLC, but I'm sure I will at some point when it goes like really on sale. I don't want to get it at the current price. Yes, but this is going to be Platinum 700, so it's going to be a long time. Yes, these are just all online trophies, so I can't do it unless I use the unofficial servers and then I get kicked off the leaderboards of PSN profiles. I mean, yes, eventually, but I hate this game. And since we're past the 10-minute thing, I'm going to say I fucking hate this game. God, I hate the controls. The driving's so awful in GTA 4. Look, there's people that enjoy it, and more power to you, but you're just objectively wrong. I don't know what to tell you, man. I know GTA 5's arcadey, I know it's not realistic. Nothing about GTA is realistic, man. It's all like a parody of stuff, who cares? You know, like, it'd be fine if there wasn't speed-based objectives like racing and, like, especially the online where you had to do it in, like the fact that the quickest way to do online things is to drive completely out of your way and find a helicopter to, like, beat the co-op times. For Fly the Co-op, Fly the Coop, Fly the Co-op, you know, just doing like a funny little joke there, is like proof that the driving sucks in the game, among other things. Ghost of Tsushima I will do eventually for sure. Little Nightmares I'm probably not going to buy the DLC for it. House of the Dead I will. High on Life I'm not going to buy the DLC. Golf I will eventually. Minecraft I can't because I don't own the PS4 version. Maybe someday I'll get like a cheap version of the PS4 editions to do these editions only trophies, but I cannot access these with the current copy of PS4 Minecraft. It will not let you downgrade, so you have to get a physical copy to do it, and then do some weird stuff with it along, like, on top of that. I will eventually, yes. I'll probably do some of this eventually. I don't know if I'll do all of them. Same thing with Peggle. Bejeweled might be just like a skill issue. I'm not going to buy World War II DLCs unless they get really, really on sale. Maybe 1 or 2 more trophies in Little Big Planet, otherwise it's like impossible for me to do. Can't do any of these, can't do that one, can't do some of these on. I've done some of the online, but not all of them. The only ones I could do is Booty Master and Play. Which, you know, maybe someday, we'll see. No, not gonna buy a DLC. No, because online and mainly and the game suck. Yes. No skill issue. No skill issue. Yes, eventually. Yes, eventually. No, I'm not gonna buy DLC. Yes, eventually. No, because online plus a couple skill issue things. Pinball, definitely skill issue, major skill issue. Thunder Ray, skill issue. Not gonna buy the $20 DLC for like one tiny little sub story about a cat. That's lame. Online trophies. These trophies are literally broken. You can't even do them. Not a single person has ever earned these trophies. And they're very easy to do, the requirements. They're just literally impossible to unlock. And there's never been a fix for it. It's just, you're just shit out of luck, essentially. But it is a fun game, so like I'm not too mad that I did it, but like at all, because it is a really, really fun game. But it is a shame. Probably never gonna do this because I felt the game was kind of boring. Like mainly with the deal, like I don't know, the higher difficulties just feel like, wow, this is just making the game more obnoxious. I feel like this type of gameplay just feels dated as hell for a Slender Man game. Specifically, I remember when I was streaming this. Was it one of the first areas? I was just running around forever and ever and ever and ever trying to find this paper piece. And if I was on hard difficulty, it would have just killed me already. But like, I spent so long trying to find this piece of paper, and I just couldn't find it. And it's just like, this is just lame. Like, I ran around this forest like 20 fucking times. Like, it's just too much. Maybe someday I bought it, and to be honest, if I were to ever do this one, I would just use the cheat menu stuff. Whatever. No, because I don't own it, and honestly, this game's mid. No, skill issue. Also, I enjoyed the tiny little bit I played of it. To be fair, unless the game goes like, or the DLC of the game rather goes like insanely on sale, I'm never doing the DLC for Conan. Maybe someday the DLC. It's just the two really annoying Doomsday High stuff. No, because I didn't like Thief. I thought I would like Thief because I really like Dishonored, but honestly, the PS3 Thief sucks. I've heard it's like not great compared to like the original Thieves, but I'm probably never gonna play the original ones. Yes, eventually. Probably yes, eventually, but it's like a skill issue thing, so I gotta work that out. I just need to buy a copy of Kakarot, like a physical copy of Kakarot, and then I will do it. At the time when I did it, it just felt like, oh, this is just retelling the main story again, so it kind of felt like fatigue of... Because I played a bunch of the PS2 games, the Dragon Ball games, like the Tenkaichis and the Budokais and Sagas, even though Sagas is bad, and Super Dragon Ball Z, and some of the PS3 era stuff, like I played Ultimate Tenkaichi, that was bad, Xenoverse, that was good. I played some of the Game Boy games, the Legacy of Goku 1, that was terrible, Legacy of Goku 2 and Boost Fury, both amazing. GT Transformations, which was pretty good. And then there was like a Dragon Ball, like an OG Dragon Ball game on DS that I played that was really good too. But yeah, I was a little burnt out, but I think I'm kind of in the mood for Dragon Ball stuff again. Because I do want to get Kakarot, and I did just recently, like a couple weeks ago. Maybe like a week and a half ago or something. Bought Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, like a physical copy of Xenoverse 2. So I will eventually get to that. Outer Worlds, I will get the DLC, I do own the DLC, I will get to it eventually. Star Trek, probably not. Crash Team Racing, maybe? Like, I do want to buy the game on disc eventually here. Kingdom Hearts 3, I do own the DLC, I will get to it eventually. Super Meat Boy, maybe, maybe not. I'll probably at least earn more trophies in it, but there's Platinum I would not bet on. PS3 was a scam for GTA 5 because it turned off... I was working on some of these trophies, but then they turned off bounties like ages ago, and so I couldn't find anyone to hack a bounty onto me. So I didn't feel like doing all the other trophies, because that just felt like it was just like, oh, this actually kind of sucks, because there's no way for me to fully do these. So like, why am I gonna waste my time? I mean, maybe I'll get a couple more trophies in Sonic Mania someday, but I don't know, I doubt it. You'll notice that the two trophies I have are like the most like the most earned, and then like the rest are just like not earned at all. I do get a cool Sonic statue of the game though, because of that. Trials Fusion, 100% a skill issue, probably never gonna happen. Trials games infuriate me, but it's addicting how infuriating they are. It's like a really weird, just like constantly upset, but like I just need to keep playing. Trials is good about that. I'd be curious to maybe try like a new Trials game or something. So yeah, whenever I guess I'm in the mood of like actively wanting to piss myself off, maybe I'll touch that game in the future. Again, the problem with this one is it wiped my character when I transferred to PS5, so like I'd have to rebuild my character up to be able to do these. Not to mention these were already kind of annoying to get in the first place anyway, so maybe someday, we'll see. These characters are just annoying to play as, in terms of like the medals, but maybe I can make that like a stream thing to do, because then it wouldn't feel as bad when I don't make any progress. So maybe someday. Probably not, but maybe like a couple of the other ones here. I could at least like beat all the games, especially with Rewind. But in terms of like doing silver trophies, bronze trophies, gold trophies, I don't know about any of that shit. Can't do this unless I do the custom servers that get me kicked off. I would love to have GoldenEye 007 Reloaded as a platinum. If I could right now, I would make that platinum 500 like in a heartbeat. And I would just say fucking wait for Black Ops could wait till platinum 600. But it is what it is. I will eventually go back to Blood Money contracts and eventually Hitman 2, wherever that is in the ether. As much as I dislike Hitman, I hate the OG Hitman 2. I don't even know where it is. Oh, there it is, right there. Terrible. Terrible game. No, but I did enjoy the bit I played of it. I doubt I'll ever go back and do the last 3 trophies of Batman Arkham Knight, but who knows. I'm much better at the Predator maps than I am at the combat maps. So you'll notice that the combat maps, the AR challenges are just like not... I can't do it, man. But maybe someday. Arkham Origins, I still technically have the chance to buy DLC for Arkham Origins and like finish that out, but like I can't justify giving Warner Brothers any money, especially when they were like... There was like an article one time where they were like, oh, we're actually not going to fix some bugs unless they're like the most game-breaking bugs ever, essentially. Because we're working on DLC for this game. So then, like, instead of being like, hey, you know, all the people that we... Especially in this game, like, apparently dropped like shit on PC as well. Luckily, on PlayStation, I didn't have to worry about it. But it's just like, man, like, just total disregard for, like, the consumer base. So I felt like they kind of scanned me on the Deathstroke thing. As much as, like, there's some cool boss fights in this game, I felt like the material made it seem like Deathstroke might have been... It would be like an Arkham City Catwoman thing, where it's like part of the story a little bit here and there, too. But it's just like some challenge maps, so it's like, who cares? Yeah, I could technically do a lot of this stuff, but yeah, the online shut off. And the funny thing is, most of the time when an online's about to go down, I'm not aware of it till like way after, and then I get upset that I lost the chance of getting the platinum. You know, like, oh, I can't get the platinum anymore. I actively knew about this one shutting down like ahead of time, and I was just like, I can't bring myself to play this. So I actively chose not to. Now maybe like current me would have at least chosen to get a couple of the trophies, like defeat each of the enemy players at least once in a multiplayer match. Like I could have at least got like one quick easy trophy out of the way there without doing the rest of these. But yeah, the rest of these sound like really obnoxious. Unless fully upgrading a weapon isn't too bad or something, but... Or earn the... This one seems to have like a decent earn rate, so maybe something like that. Anyway, Battlefield 4, again, I also knew this one was shutting down, but like, I don't... Who cares? I don't care. I'm not gonna... Especially not gonna buy DLC for PS3 Battlefield. Are you insane? I didn't even like the story enough to do the story missions. Like, I don't even know if I would care... Like, I would have to find like a really crazy cheap copy of this for me to even care enough to... Like, it would have to be less than $5 for me to care enough to like do these remaining trophies. Or maybe it feels like a bundle deal with like something else I was buying. Payday 2, I just don't like Payday 2. I don't know, something about it. Which is weird, because it feels like I should like Payday 2. I don't. It's a shame. But maybe there's some trophies I can at least clean up on that someday. Drive Club, I'm not really... See, the driving games I like are a little bit more arcadey, like a Gran Turismo. To an extent. Or especially, like... I like more like Demolition type stuff too, like Jack X, it comes to mind. And then obviously we talked about Twisted Metal earlier. I kind of liked, yeah, Burnout was good. Stuntman Ignition was really good. I didn't have trophies though. It's one of the few PS3 games that doesn't have trophies. Along with Elder Scrolls, Oblivion, The Godfather 1. And recently I found out Tony Hawk Project 8, which I loved a lot on PSP. Never played a Tony Hawk game besides that, and also like a Game Boy Tony Hawk game, Pro Skater 3, which sucked. That game sucked. Like the PSP Tony Hawk Project 8 was great, so I've been trying to look around for like a PS3 copy. Because my PSP's broke, so I can't play that one anymore. But yeah, something about Drive Club, I don't know, like I just don't really care for driving games too much, unless there's like more than just driving, I guess. Little Big Planet 3, I mean, the servers are shut down. I wouldn't mind picking up a copy of this game, though, and doing the non-online trophies for it. Especially because, man, the online trophies seem like there's not that many. These seem like incredibly easy online trophies as well. So, like, this platinum would have been, like, assuming that you could have easily done these trophies, and then the only platinum issue would have been, like, maybe ace all the levels or something, right? J-Stars. I didn't like this fighting game. It controlled like ass. So we'll probably never pick up another copy. Like, again, if I find like a really cheap copy of this would be like, okay, maybe I'd play like a little bit of this just to get like the unearned trophy amount up higher, but like I could be fine in my life if I never touch the game again. It's whatever. There's plenty of these games I look at and I'm just like, it's whatever. Like, it'll just never be finished. It's fine. Like, I don't really feel too bad about it. Sonic Generations, another one. It's kind of like whatever. Oh, I skipped something, didn't I? Oh, Killer's Dead. I did actively buy this game because there's another one of those games where like the visuals are just amazing. Absolutely stunning. I have no idea what the plot's about, even though I beat the whole game. The plot was like super weird out there, like I didn't really understand what was happening, but... The Grasshopper Manufacturer, they're a weird group. I'm be real, with Lollipop Chainsaw and Killer's Dead and stuff like that. They're a weird group, but like I respect the weirdness. That's fair. Okay, we already talked about those. Okay, I guess the only one we're holding off on, of course. If one in particular we're holding off on, are we gonna do it? The answer is yes. Let me scroll down. Let me scroll up real quick just to make sure nothing else. Okay. Deadliest Catch 2. I would have said I don't really care, but I put it up as a channel redeem, like for community goal, because I thought it'd be really funny to play a game I know I'm gonna hate, to 100% it, with the story of the fact that like I didn't earn these trophies that are on my account, my dad did, and so it's on my account for all time. But I still do have the, like, he still has a copy of the game, so I can get it from him pretty easily. And so after we hit Platinum 500, like at some point very soon after that, like a few streams after that probably, we'll start playing Deadliest Catch. Anyway, that's enough of I've been trophy yapping for quite a while. That's a solid almost 4 hours of trophy yapping. Let's talk about next stream. Next stream, what is today's Thursday, right? So not streaming Friday. Saturday I'm playing, Saturday going into Sunday, I'm playing Big Walk with friend of the stream Ryudos. And gonna get that platinum, because if I don't get that if that's not platinum 498, I guess Sam and Max will be, but I'm gonna be livid if I don't get platinum by then. So I won't stream then, so I'll probably be streaming either Sunday or Monday. I'm not sure which, but that should be the big Platinum 500 stream. In terms of... Let me pull this up real quick. We'll give it like a sneak peek for those that want to see what it's about. Sneak peek time, everybody. Sneaking and a peeking. Orion the Otzel tier maker list. Look at that. Those are all my platinums. Every single platinum so far. This, and I don't have like the last three yet for it. Obviously, 498, 499, 500. This is every single platinum. I even had to go back in and like change it so that it was all in order because like the first 125 were not in order. But we have. That's bad. A bunch of creaking noises, damn. We have S tier. We have A tier, which means minor flaws in the game. B tier, either annoying trophies or some gameplay aspects like are annoying. C tier, a mid-game or really annoying, like really annoying trophies. Not a good game. D tier, which is a bad game, or really annoying trophies on a mid-game. Or F tier, where just everything sucks. We also have slop tier, which is AI or cash grab stuff. We have the you cheated not only the game but yourself, so that meme of like games I maybe just use console commands on, which honestly aren't too many of the games like that. But there are some games where like I would just like cheese it, like Subnautica and Conan and a couple others, like maybe like a dozen games total over the span of the 500. And then repeat plats, so like plats that are exactly the same between versions. There are some exceptions to this rule, like Fall Guys is technically the same between the versions, but when Epic Games took over, it kind of fucked up some things with the way they handled seasons, and so that changed the fundamental trophy hunting aspect, so I would talk differently about those. And then I think there's like a couple others that are similar like that. Like, for example, some of them just have a different trophy list, even though it's the same game. Like Jak and Daxter has the PS4, PS5 versions have a different trophy list than, say, the PS3 and PS4 version, like the original PS4 version. Same thing with like Sly Cooper 1 and 2 stuff, and some other games here and there. But yeah, that's we'll be doing that on the Big Platinum 500 stream once and for all. But yeah, this took a long time because what I do for this is essentially this is the process of how I download all these. By the way, to put in the list, I click on the game that I'm going to do. I click on the little picture in the corner. I right-click save. I put in the number of the platinum in this, and then I did that 497 times. So. We also did, I wonder if I can click on my... We also did that for Ritos, friend of the stream Ritos. I did not change his order. The last 5 are in the right order because I added those recently, but I would have to change this order to be correct. But I think he already filled in all his, except for the last 5. Anyway, that's a sneak peek of what to expect from the next stream. Sounds good. Thanks to everyone who showed up, including Horizon, Coach Sam, Red, of course, Riodos, Rafiki, who was pretending to be Purge Mist for a little bit, as well as thanks to Tasman and for the raid, and Oki as well for the follow for Oki. And am I missing anyone here? Sorry, I had to scroll past a bunch of like, even though I timed them out, it still shows like the chat, so I had to like scroll through a bunch of them. Yeah, thanks to anyone who's either currently lurking now or was lurking earlier. Those people are appreciated here. You do not have to be a chatter if you don't want to be. Let me see what this guy is doing here real quick, because this depends on how we're going to raid out. If he's playing Wild Arms, then I'm going to raid out to him, but if he's playing Sinking City, then I'm not... Yeah, he's playing Wild Arms. Okay, well, as I can showcase real quick here, Wild Arms. One of the games I loved growing up quite a bit, it did back in July 2018. I've redeemed a community redeem on Fin the Stream Ryos' channel to play this game, and so he's been playing this game quite a bit. He's like near the end. He's in the end game grinding bit, essentially, of it. So we're going to raid out to him. He was in here earlier. Also a fellow trophy hunter. Canadian game developer. Worked at EA for a spell. If you played a hockey game in any sort of recent sort of memory from EA, he's had a hand in it. Some other games as well. You can check his description, whatever. That's a little advertisement for the funny man himself, Mr. Devon. But thanks everyone. And yeah, this stream should show up on YouTube, I would assume. Let's see, today's so it's going to go on the 21st. So this should probably show up on YouTube on the 23rd. I space out my uploads every 2 days. So I don't think it'll be ready in time for the 21st at noon, because I always post noon mine time. Or I have it auto post at noon mine time. But yeah, it should be on the 23rd. So that'd be nice. And yeah, next stream will be either Sunday or Monday. Around the same time, starting. But yeah, catch everyone next time. If you want to catch me on a stream, be sure to check out Rita's, the channel we're raiding into. Check out his stream on Saturday for his community night, which is where I'm going to be Saturday. But yeah, anyway. Catch y'all next time. Do. And read. And stop streaming.